Hello and welcome to 71st Hour, the new gaming podcast hosted by the three of us here. I'm Jamie. You may have seen me on the Twitch channel Palace J. I'm joined by Nathan, who you may have also seen on his Twitch channel Nato62.
Hi.
And then there's Ben, aka Seto,
I'm just
who
random.
he shows up sometimes. You know,
I'm
you
just
see
a
him on my
guy.
stream, you see him on Nathan's stream. I actually don't think we've ever seen him on Nathan's stream once.
There
Not
was
even-
once. Yeah, once we
Oh,
played
yeah.
Rainbow Six Siege. Yeah, and
Not,
that was
not
a
a
session.
not a single time. Not a
Yeah.
single time. Not one.
Nope.
Anyways, so we're starting a podcast. I feel like we've been talking about this for forever. Like we're gonna do this, and then we put it off years and years and years. And now we're here, and
Yes.
it's looking great. Nathan
Mm.
fucking killed it with
Nathan absolutely killed it.
hell of so much setup, so much involved. Absolutely nailed it.
I definitely didn't slave away for 10 hours doing this, I swear.
Actually slaved away.
Yeah, actually did.
Completely unpaid as well. It's really fucked up.
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that joke that I was gonna. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I guess to start, we should explain. You know, if they haven't gone to my stream, haven't gone to Nathan's stream, haven't seen Ben ever.
Yeah. Ever.
You know, how old are we? What games do we play? What's our favorite game? Maybe favorite genre? All these kind of things.
Mhm.
Nathan, I'm gonna open up to you first.
Okay, you're opening up to me?
I'm
I don't think you've ever
I'm
opened up
up
to
to
me.
you.
I'm
I'm opening up the floor to you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Nathan. I'm 25. I'm a gamer. I've
Oh
been
my god,
gaming since I could pretty much hold a controller.
nailed it.
Yeah. I'm not a gaming addict. That is what an addict would say.
Yeah,
Yes.
all addicts say that, like, you know, they pretend
not
they're
an
not
addict.
addicts. Yeah, right,
Mhm.
of course.
Mhm.
Yeah, my favorite games. I've made a bit of a list. It's not as easy as you would think.
Mhm.
To answer that for me. Do you want me to go through the list, or because I've got 4 stages of my life. And,
Oh, okay.
and
You
I've
know
got
what?
3 games per stage of my life.
I want to know. Give me the first chunk,
Yeah.
the first
My-
chunk of games,
my childhood
the
games.
childhood games.
Yep. We've got Banjo-Kazooie for the Nintendo 64,
Good.
Hang on.
Yep.
because I grew up with an N64 because I had an older brother.
Yep.
Yoshi's Island for the SNES.
Beautiful.
It's
Banger.
amazing. And all the Donkey Kong Country games. You
Yeah.
can just put that under one game. They're,
Mhm.
they're all just as good. That's my
Yep.
childhood. My
I
childhood favorites.
should play. Wait, I have said I should play them, and you've said don't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's games get to a certain point where you're like, okay, they've been it's been. I feel like when it gets to like the 20-year mark, it's like, okay, this game's definitely showing its age. Some games don't age as badly as others, but
They've aged.
they're
They-
definitely especially
yeah.
visually. Like when you look at they'll spoiler alert, there might be some Donkey Kong Country later on in the podcast. It definitely looks. You can definitely see that it was made a long time ago.
Yep. Yep.
Ben, why don't you go next? What are some of so you can either do favorite game, or you can do a game from your childhood that you really enjoyed.
Okay.
It may not necessarily be your favorite game now.
Yep. Well, look. My name's Ben. I am 23 years old. I have been. My camera went out of focus. I have been playing.
Just do the hand thing. Just do the hand
Yeah, I'll
thing.
do the
And,
hand
of
thing, I'll
course,
just do
this is always stuff is going to go wrong.
Yeah, stuff
basically,
is going to go wrong.
It's going to be a learning process, and we hope you stick around.
Come on, there we go. Yeah, no, 23 years old, playing games since I was 12, 13 years old, not my entire life. I have, still myself as well, not addicted to games at all. I'm not addicted to games by any means, shape or word. My first game I ever started off was actually the Wii. I actually started with the Wii. That's so I came in a little bit later. I played Wii Sports, but the game that I grown up with was ironically actually Left 4 Dead 2. That's actually the game I grew up with.
It's for kids, you know.
Yeah,
it's,
exactly.
It even
It's for
says on the
kids.
box, like E for everyone, or
Yeah,
G
E
for
for
general,
everyone.
you know.
Yeah, G for
of
general,
course.
yeah. No, I got into that, and that basically what kind of slingshotted me into to my non-addiction of video games. That's basically what slingshotted me into. But yeah, that's what I always start off with.
Non-addiction.
Yeah, but that's still like we still play that now, modded to all hell, but we still play that now.
We do still play it, but
Yes.
yeah, obviously very, very modded and not at
Yes.
all close to maybe how the original looks.
Not even
definitely.
close, but still.
Actually,
What I think
Yeah, there's only a few Minecraft textures, you know.
Yeah, but all of the special infected are completely different.
Hey, I mean, honestly, the spitter, you replace the spitter with like
A drink.
a drink, like
Yeah.
they're
A
pretty similar.
McDonald's
Like
drink.
Yeah.
literally a
Taco Bell
McDonald's
drink.
drink. Like I mean, they're
Yeah.
pretty similar. Like when you think about it.
The tank is Hank. It's yeah, that's similar, right? Definitely. But yeah, no, that's where I grew up. But yeah, that's kind of where I went off with. Jamie, the man of the hour. What about you?
The man of the hour. No.
Yeah.
We are all hosting this.
Yeah.
This is all like okay. So actually, I'll go over my favorite games and maybe childhood games, stuff like that. But then I want to talk about the vision of the podcast because I feel like that's an important like statement to make at the beginning. So I'm 25. Been playing games since I feel like I was maybe 5 or 6. It's a little bit smoky as to when. I can't remember if I had an original Xbox or a Game Boy Advance first because they kind of both came in at around the same time. But I mean, childhood game. Like the first console game that I played was Halo Combat Evolved. Absolutely not for children. Not even. But my mum and dad had no idea. They were like, "Oh, this looks fun. It looks like there's like a green stormtrooper on the front. That's fine. That'll be fine for him." And just like fell in love with it, right? And obviously, like it's a little bit weird to do this podcast today from like a Halo standpoint because the future of Halo is very, very weird considering
Grim.
Yeah, not
like
the best.
it's just very, very strange and odd to feel like there's not a lot of hope for the Halo franchise, at least to me from this point. But those Bungie Halo games, man, like you want to talk about like just accelerating I don't know, they just got better and better. Like like and it peaked at Halo 3 like in terms of marketing, in terms of hype, like that was a moment and that started with Halo Combat Evolved. So yeah, that's I'll leave it at that as my like favorite childhood game. And yeah, so obviously we want to talk about the vision of the podcast, but also we should probably explain the name that you can see up there, right? 71st hour. What does it mean? Where did it come from? Obviously, like I did come up with it, but I kind of
extra credit.
I kind of want one of you to explain it. Who wants to go?
Yeah, I'll go. So the reason why the name is 71st Hour is because in our little friend group we have an ongoing joke that there's a lot of games that takes about 70 hours to get into, right? One of the games that kind of started it was Warframe. I had a very big addiction. I wanted Jamie to get into it, and that's kind of where it all started of us doing 70 hours. And I guess the main reason why we want to do 71st hour is because, it's over the hurdle. That's it. We're done. We're into the good part.
You're into the good part.
We're into the good part.
We've reached the 71st hour. We've gone through 70 hours of trash. Mm-hmm. We're over the horizon. We're at the good.
This is our 71st podcast. This is our 71st.
Exactly. We actually did 70 test podcasts.
Exactly.
All just naming them, numbering them, and we actually finally got to the 71st and realized, this is the one that we should upload. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Depends if you're seeing it or not.
Yeah, that is true. That's a good point. True. I mean, if it's playing right now, you see the little red bar going along. That means it went well.
It went well, and we're up here now. Yes.
Exactly.
That's what it means.
And if you're not seeing it, you're not seeing it,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's funny, like that whole like it gets good at this after 70 hours. I think I remember seeing that in a review for like Final Fantasy 13.
Oh, yeah.
It was, and I'm not even sure if it was satire, but it was literally like, oh, don't worry. Like get to the 70-hour point and the game really opens up.
Yeah, just get
and I was like,
just get
70,
yeah, that's fine.
70 hours, like, man, if a game doesn't grab me in like 10, less than 10, like 5, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to play this. Like,
yes.
Not going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always so funny to me, like the whole, just play 40 hours, just play 50 hours.
It's fine. That's
play 70 hours and you'll get there,
That's like the big MMO thing, right? Like Guild Wars.
Play 100 hours and you're good to go.
Yeah, and you're good to go, man. That's like the main thing. And I think like Destiny is okay with that, but like Warframe is a big contributor to how shit that really is. Like Warframe is bad in that essence.
Yeah, I would say the new player experience in Warframe is not great.
It's horrible.
No.
To be honest, like Destiny's isn't that great either.
The new experience in Destiny is really bad.
I think, and that's always a challenge. I think there's a challenge with like every MMO where it's The only one that I think does it successfully is like Final Fantasy 14, and the only reason that works is because you have to play like 500 hours of campaigns. There's no skip, like you can't skip them if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. And so that's you're playing basically year one of the game and going
Yeah.
through it. And so I guess in that way you're learning everything as you go. So they were just
Mhm.
like, well, instead of coming up with like a new kind of experience for new players, we'll just make them go through all the content anyway.
Yeah.
But obviously Destiny can't do that because they
Well,
vaulted some stuff,
they
didn't they?
bolted
They got rid of
everything,
some
haven't
stuff.
they?
Yeah,
That
they did.
that was an experience, wasn't it?
Was an experience. Yeah, so vision of the podcast. So I guess like when I brought it to you guys, I said, let's do a podcast. 2023, start the year off. Nice and bright, new future, plenty of games coming out.
Mhm.
And I basically said that I wanted it to be, instead of like it just being like me hosting it, like, so obviously we did a podcast before, it was called Throneside Chats. And it was very much centered around like my channel, my brand sort of thing. And so this time I was like, let's all three of us sort of be co-hosts. Let's all bring ideas into the mix. And so every week one of us will host. It won't necessarily be me, it won't necessarily be Ben, or you know, it will all rotate around the kind of like introing role. So yeah, what do you guys think about that? Any thoughts? Any feelings?
Any thinkers?
Any
Truers?
thinkers?
Look,
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. Yeah, I don't really see anything that's wrong with that. Like, I don't see anything bad about you know, us all hosting it together. I feel like that's actually one of the most healthy things that you can do with the podcast to actually keep it running. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
it's the
exactly.
best.
Because I just thought like it's better if we all have our own input in and you know, if there's something that people don't like, we just say, well, can we do that a different way? Like just kind of make a dialogue about it and kind of grow the podcast as it goes. Like, because this obviously like is just step one. Like, who knows where episode 50 will look like, or 50, you know, episode 71, you know? Um, who knows? Who knows for sure?
Yeah, 100%.
So where do we want to go from here? What do we want to do?
We want to get into what we've been playing.
Yeah, I think that's probably the
We
best
can do
idea.
what we've been playing first. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Oh,
What
that
was
sounds
that?
good.
That was
That was me moving my microphone. Sorry.
I heard all of that. I heard
Yeah,
all
I
of
just
it.
quickly moved my microphone back a little bit.
And we're back.
Yeah.
Just cut around that. Yeah, so I mean, Ben, do you want to start with
Yeah,
a game that you've been playing?
I'll start with absolute no respect for my own life whatsoever. I've been playing a shit ton of Dead Cells, way too much Dead Cells. Basically, what Dead Cells actually is, it is a roguelike that is actually, I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it actually was. The first little bit of Dead Cells, it kind of hooks you in because it is about, you have to work quickly to get through the levels as quickly as you possibly can, but you also have to try to explore as much level. So there's kind of this back and forth of you trying to get as much you like through and get as much you know, scrolls and stuff like that and different weapons and so on. And but if you can get through the levels quickly, you can get stuff that can increase your overall like permanent level. You can get new gear that is like much better rarity. So it's like kind of this back and forth that you have to work through. But the thing about Dead Cell that's really good is that there are so many goddamn levels in the game. There are so many levels. Like, you can start off in one area and you can go to a like a broken down castle for your second. So you always start off in the sewers. And then you can move like deeper into the sewers, or you can move up into the castles, and they will lead into different bosses, and moving those into different bosses will lead into different ones until it finally gets to the final boss. And the thing that hooked me so much more onto Dead Cells was that, do you know how with roguelikes, when you finally get through all the levels, you kill the final boss, it usually has a sort of like a harder version of like a harder version of the roguelike where you can go through, and it might be more difficult, you might get better loot out of it, so on and so forth. Well, Dead Cells took that, but then they also decided to just add an entire new end game with that as well, to where now you have new maps you can go to, new bosses, like new story that can be completely unlocked as well, and new weapons that make it just so entertaining to actually play through. And the gameplay loop is just amazing. And the thing about Dead Cells, and this might be a little bit of a thing to call out, but it is probably one of the most difficult games that I have played, hands down.
Really?
Seriously, it is a difficult game, especially when it's get to later. Because the thing about the game is that enemies die quickly, but you also die very quickly. So if
Yeah,
you
right.
mess up at all, an enemy can destroy you. And especially later levels, enemies can do things where they turn into like tornadoes and suck you in. That can just one shot you. They can stab you through floors. They can spawn in different enemies. There's one enemy that cloaks other enemies and turns them invisible, so you have no idea where they are until you're right next to them. It is just insanely difficult, but that's what makes it so much more fun to actually play it as well. And of course, the thing that you have to always mention is the crossovers to all different roguelikes and whatnot, like Katana Zero, Risk of Rain, you have Half-Life and whatnot. I've seen like Back to the Future as well. So many different crossovers that have their own weapons and outfits.
So did they add the crossovers to like the base campaign sort of thing? Like it's sort of
Yes.
interwoven?
Yeah, so what it is that when you go through a level, you can find like a room that is like in Katana Zero, you know, you have the therapist room. You can just find that room, which can give you a weapon. It can give you a throwable object, right? Or you can go through and you can find the car from Back to the Future, and you can get an outfit out of that. Each of the time, you always get like a new weapon or an outfit or something like that. And some of the weapons are insanely good. Like Hollow Knight's nail is just insane. It's so good. It is insanely good to actually play.
Is
with.
that what you're using mostly? Like your main kind of weapon is that, or do you think it sort of depends?
It really depends, because so in Dead Cells, the one thing is that there is 3 scrolls. So you don't get a rarity in weapons. How you do is you can actually upgrade your stats. So there's 3 scrolls you can get. One, which is brutality. That is where like your melee weapons, you do like good damage. We have good health. You have tactician, which is a purple one. That's your glass cannon. That's where you do a shit ton of damage, but you have very little health. That's usually the one you want to rock with. And the last one is survival. You have a lot of health and you have very slow but hard hitting weapons. Brutality is probably my favorite. That's where like the nail sits. You also get other weapons from other games, like you have the crowbar from Half-Life, which sits there as well. But in Tactician, you got some like insane damage dealing weapons. Like you got whips that just do insane damage. You got one of my favorites, which is explosive crossbow, because you can literally just fire and you'll probably one shot most enemies, and it does go out to kill other enemies. Some of the intrinsic perks onto it. And of course, you have gadgets that you can get as well. Grenades, crossbows, so on and so forth, that are insanely good. Like crossbows and one, which I think you can see right now, is the double cross-o-matic. That is probably one of the best ones you can get, because that is just a turret that sits on the floor that does so much damage. So even if you're underpowered in damage, the turret will probably carry you throughout the entirety of the damage. But
Nice, yeah.
I have been heavily addicted to this game. It is just so much fun, and there's so much replayability to it. One of the best roguelikes I have played, like easily. It is one of the best.
It's definitely on my list to play. Like I've told you this before, but like I bought this like years ago on the Switch, and it's just been sitting there. And obviously, like I don't usually like the Switch isn't my first kind of like, oh, I'm looking for a game. Where do I go? I don't go to the Switch. It's not my first stop to find a game. And so it's kind of just sat there like kind of unwanted. Yeah. And so I am gonna play Dead Cells at some point. But I mean, the way you're talking about it sounds awesome. Like I can't wait to
it
looks
dig
pretty
into
sick.
it.
Yeah, it is a fantastic game. It is a fantastic game. I would like just recommend it to anybody who's like just bored of any game.
I really like the art style. Like I like how it you sort of just have this like explosion of like colorful diarrhea sort of when enemies die. Like it's just like this complete you just like the whole screen kind of fills up with enemies. And like their bits. Like
when you get up to later levels, it gets so much more insane. I don't really want to spoil what happens, because when you kill the final boss, the game just opens up completely. I thought, like, you know, when you play a roguelike and you kind of understand the loop, you're like, I understand the loop, I know what's happening here. Dead Cells doesn't do the same thing, where when you think you understand the loop, it actually just adds 10 times more on top of it. That's what makes it so good. But the last thing I want to bring up about Dead Cells is that the OST, this soundtrack, is just incredible. It is just incredible. Each room has its own soundtrack to the room and has its own song that plays with it. And like some of them are just insane. There's one room which, like, if you play, you'll get to it eventually, is a basic darkness is constantly collapsing into you. It's killing you. So what you need to do is you need to constantly find torches. And the torches, some of them are placed in just a way to when you run the torch, it goes with the beat of the song, and it
Oh,
just
really?
works so beautifully. It just
That
works so
yeah, that
beautifully.
reminds me of like there were levels in like Rayman Legends, like that
Mhm.
the 2D side scrolling game where they would have these like musical levels where as you did the jumps, the beat would match those
Yes.
jumps.
Mhm.
I love when games do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. But yeah, I would highly recommend. And the game's cheap as well. That's the great thing about this game. It's cheap. It's
Yeah, because it's
really
old, right?
yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like
Oldish. Yeah, it's like
I
5
think
years old.
I think it's about that. Yeah, but it keeps getting updated, like constantly getting updated, and it's just good. And the updates are
There's a
constantly
DLC. They
fantastic.
announced a DLC at the Game
Mhm.
Awards just recently.
Like
So I mean,
Castlevania DLC. That's
mhm,
very
mhm.
exciting. That's gonna be a very exciting one. But yeah, no, it's just the DLCs have always been absolute hits for this game. They've always been amazing. So yeah,
I think this might be the last DLC they're doing as well. The one
yes,
that's releasing. I think that's the final one.
I
The
think it
Return to
is, and
Castlevania.
yeah, I think there is. I think it is, and then I think they might be working on a new game. I don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they are doing something like that. I think that's
Oh
what
yeah,
it is.
yeah. I'm sure they've at least prototyped something at
Yeah,
this point.
100%. But
Um,
no, it's very good. It's very, very
awesome.
good.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But yeah,
Well, speaking of
mhm,
addicting games
yes.
that you just can't put down, I want to talk a little bit about Vampire Survivors,
Mhm,
which I know, like, I feel like I've missed the bandwagon a little bit because I feel like everyone was talking about this game constantly all of last year, on and off, and I was just, even Shadow, one of our friends, he played Vampire Survivors and just would not stop talking about it. Like loved it, absolutely was insanely addicted to it. It was really cheap on Steam as well. I'm actually playing the Game Pass version because I have Game Pass, so I might as well use it. And it's just I can't even really pin down exactly what about it is so fun. I think it's just the ease of like one more run. Like it's only 30 minutes. Like I can squeeze in 30 more minutes. Like why not? Just do another run. And it's that constant feeling of progression where like even if I might fail a run or there's I don't really accomplish a whole lot because it feels really good. Like the progression is sort of based around unlocking characters, finding items, and completing achievements and unlocks. Um, and that's sort of the whole progression. And so like it feels really good when you finish a run and it says like 7 achievements completed because it's like,
mhm.
damn, I did a lot. Like there's like 100 and something achievements in this game as well. There's a ton
This
of stuff to do. There's a lot. And a lot of it is kind of secretive. Like they don't exactly tell you how to, how to defeat the Reaper. Like at the end
mm,
of a run, there's a Reaper and they basically insta kill you at the beginning, right? Like you get to a
mm,
end of a run at 30 minutes, all the other enemies despawn, and the Reaper comes over and basically one shots you in some of the earlier runs that you would do. And then one of the achievements is like defeat the Reaper. It's like, okay, how do I do that? And then you sort of like gather these abilities and these weapons that are like, okay, I could use this ability that freezes enemies. So maybe I can freeze the Reaper and then move away from him. And then you unlock these abilities that are like, oh, now I have this like protective shield that when something attacks me, the cloak attacks back. So it's like, okay, I can mix these two abilities together and then accomplish a whole bunch of different achievements. And it's crazy that it keeps delving deeper.
mm,
Like I'm always like, okay, I've reached the kind of pinnacle of what this game is unlocked, what you unlock in this game. And then it's like, okay, but here's more. Here's more. Here's more.
mm,
And when you thought you're done, here's a little bit more. Like it
mm.
keeps going in a way that I feel like some of the best kind of roguelites, like I wouldn't exactly call Vampire Survivors a roguelite. It's more like a run-based kind of survive like. I don't know.
Mm,
I like it feels like it's gonna become its own kind of genre, I think. Um, but it's really good. It's really good. It's like $2 on Steam. It's on Game Pass for free. I just cannot get enough of this game. I think it's
mm.
really, really great. And it kind
Because
of
Yeah.
reminds me of like the old school kind of or the Flash games.
Mm.
I
yeah.
don't know,
Yeah.
like it gives me that vibe of like like it's like a little micro game sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Exactly.
So because there's more levels as well. There's a lot of levels in that game as well, isn't there? There's
That's another
like
thing, right? So on top of unlocking like items and characters, and a lot of the characters like some of them have sort of different like stats. Like you
mm,
might start with more base speed, or sometimes you'll start with a weapon that's like better than you would typically start with. But it doesn't really vary that much, a whole lot. It's sort of like like there are some characters that you have to use basically to do certain objectives. But you sort of like any kind of combination of abilities and weapons can kind of get you to the end.
Yeah.
But it's just the levels, like, and it also makes you. It keeps revisiting levels with
Mm.
different kind of objectives that change how the level kind of flows.
Mm.
And then it constantly unlocks things on levels. Like obviously you're watching right now. This is like the first level of the game, super basic. And then like you'll do a couple more levels, and then it'll be like, okay, there's an artifact on this level. Go back to this level and try and find the artifact.
Mm.
And if you've unlocked like the map ability, it's really easy. But if you haven't, then it's obviously like you kind of got to look around a little bit. And it sort of like forces the player to explore. And then there's other stuff later on that I actually don't really want to spoil, that also other levels that make you want to explore further and deeper and see like secrets. And so yeah, it's just really cool. It's just a
Mm.
really, really cool game. I think it's probably the best indie game of last year. Like I just think
Yeah.
it excels at like what indie games do best, which is
Not
really
Stray?
Not Stray, bro.
definitely
Dude,
not Stray.
this game, like, yeah, Vampire Survivors did blow up, though. That's the thing. Vampire Survivors, like, blew up when it first came out. And it spawned so many copycats and stuff like that.
Oh,
This
yeah.
game did explode. And you can see why. It is very addictive.
Well, the
in
funny
what
thing is, like,
happens.
I actually can't see why. Like when you look at it,
Really?
it just looks
It does
super
look
basic.
boring,
It's like, okay,
yeah.
this looks like I don't think it's necessarily a fun game to watch, as it is like the
Yes.
feeling of basically becoming invincible,
Yeah.
where at the end having like 5 evolved weapons and
Mhm.
just like every enemy that comes at you, like the screen is full of enemies
Yes.
by the end, and it's
It's
super satisfying.
it's a very similar thing to like how like something like Risk of Rain works, right? Like Risk of Rain is
Yeah.
the same thing where you're constantly evolving your character until you're basically immortal. You can't
Mhm.
die, and there's like an army of enemies getting thrown at you, but you still just can't die. It's a very satisfying thing where you
Exactly.
just see so many things die and you're just not even touched in that moment. Like it's a very satisfying feeling.
Yeah, I just think this game really, really excels at the like lizard gamer brain,
Yeah.
motivating people to keep going
Hmm.
in a way that I feel like a lot of like AAA games would only dream of doing.
Yeah.
Like they've probably got like these massive teams of like corporate officers trying to get people to spend money on microtransactions and keep playing the game. And this one dude made this game, and it's just the most addictive thing I think I've played in a very long time. Like
Yeah.
it's fantastic. It really is, and I
Yeah.
can't recommend it. And it's so cheap. Like the barrier to entry is so small
Mhm.
that you'd be crazy not to try it. It's even on phones now. You
Yeah.
know, and everyone's got a phone.
Don't you
You
guys
know?
have
Yeah.
phones?
Everyone's got a phone. Don't you have a
You know,
phone?
Blizzard knows you got a phone. You know.
Because the thing about this, like I heard, like like Shadow has said and whatnot, it's a very easy game as well, right? It's very like it's not hard to really play after a while because you kind
Not
of
at
just
all.
you're kind of just sitting there, which makes it like a very chill game, so you can kind of play it all the time. You don't have to really concentrate with it. So yeah, I have definitely heard very good things about this game.
I have gotten to the point where this game, like obviously this game has a soundtrack that is cool for the first few runs, but I would say that it does get like
Tedious.
I'm kind of sick of it because I've
Yeah.
done so many runs of so many of the same level over and over again.
Yeah, of
And
course.
obviously a lot of the enemies don't necessarily change that much. And so what I do now is I just have like basically all the sounds muted, and I'm just listening to podcasts or I'm listening to music, and I'm just it's like my chill like hangout game.
Yeah.
And it's really good for that. And I've nearly finished it. Like I'm really close to finishing it.
Mhm.
I think I have like maybe 3 more achievements to go, like 3 more unlocks, really close to the end. And I just cannot recommend it enough. I don't know. I will say I'm playing it on PC with a mouse and keyboard. I guess just a keyboard. You don't really actually use a mouse. It's just
Mm.
kind of a one-handed game. But I know it is on mobile. It is on Xbox. And so I'm not sure how that experience translates, but I mean, you're basically just moving. Like that's the gameplay. You just
Mhm.
move and kind of maneuver around enemies. So I can't imagine it being too bad.
Mhm.
And it is free on phone.
Yeah.
Totally
Oh,
free.
is it free?
Oh,
Oh, there you
sweet.
go. That's
Totally
even better.
free. The only caveat is that you can extend your runs by watching an ad, but it's free. So
yeah,
like,
that's okay. That's okay.
and it's
trade.
also like it's when you die you can watch an ad to like continue.
That's all right.
So
That's
so
okay.
it's not interrupting the game with like here's fucking whatever, you know, here's in your face, blah
Yeah.
blah blah. It's like you've died, you ended the game. Just watch a quick ad and you can continue your run if
Yeah.
it's if you
I-
haven't
that's
finished it.
I feel like that's better than like pay this much money and you unlock a character or this item or this evolved weapon. You know what I mean? I feel
I
like
think
that's
it is definitely a best case scenario, and I think even the developer mentioned like they didn't want to do an upfront cost because that cuts basically like 80% of the mobile market.
Yeah.
People just don't want to buy mobile games.
I feel like every time you look at a mobile game, you never buy the game. I feel like you always get the free version. You always get the demo version. You never buy the game itself. I think it's a very rare cause where people actually do that.
I mean, I don't know. I can't even remember the last time I bought a mobile game or
Yeah.
like even an app. It has to be free, and then there's like some caveat with like ads or
Exactly.
if there's in-app purchases. But you really can't do the whole pay $1 or pay,
Yes.
God forbid, pay $10, which is
Mm.
like that. Some mobile games used to do that. They used to be like, hey,
yeah.
pay $10, and then there's also in-app purchases. It's like,
Mhm.
no, absolutely not.
They're
Not
like,
happening.
oh, we can charge 50 for this on Steam. Why would we not charge that on mobile?
It's like,
Yeah,
absolutely
exactly.
not. Different market, different
Yeah, it just
different
doesn't
buying
work.
kind of schemes, different different customer behaviors for sure.
Very much so.
Nathan, why don't you tell us what you've been playing?
First game that I've sort of been playing most recently is Donkey Kong Country 2, as Jamie mentioned
Ooh.
earlier. It's been on my mind a bit recently, so I decided to go back and play it again. Holy shit, that's framing out.
That's very framey.
Once again, this is a learning process. We're
it's
learning in
getting
real
better.
time.
Hold on, it's getting
I
better.
just play from the start. There you go, when it's nice and chill. Anyway, so I pulled out the SNES. It's been probably like 15 years since I started it and decided to get back in and.
So you've never finished it?
Oh yeah, no, I finished it.
Oh,
Plenty
you
of
have
times.
finished.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
just
Oh, you
doing
have?
another
Okay.
playthrough. Okay.
Yeah. So I decided to jump back in and take a look at it. SNES didn't work first time, so I had to open it up and like clean it with a bunch of isopropyl alcohol and shit. Had to
Hell
like
yeah.
scrub the game down, get the contacts all clean to get it working again. But we got there in the end, and I'm playing it. I'm pretty sure I'm up to like the second last level at the moment. So no, it's been a good time.
And Donkey Kong Country is hard. Like they're hard games. Like
Oh,
they're
they
not
are
easy.
not
platforms.
easy.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I remember when they brought back like the kind of newer Donkey Kong Country, like there were so many people that were like, "Oh, this game's like really tough. Like it's really
yeah.
difficult." Like,
Well, it's way
Mhm.
harder than the new ones.
Yeah.
oh really?
They're
Like yeah,
not
it's much
forgiving.
tougher.
Yeah, they are not forgiving.
Like just
Yeah.
looking at the gameplay, it looks like it's difficult to like. I guess maybe it's different when you're playing it, but like it looks like it's difficult to understand like where stuff that you can collide with is, because obviously they're pre-rendered backgrounds, right? So they're
Yeah.
not. So you've kind of got the characters, and then you've got these pre-rendered backgrounds, and it's just so funny, like watching it and like I feel like I'd have a difficult time like understanding where my character is or what I can kind of interact with in a way.
Yeah,
I don't know if that maybe gets easier as
it's
you play more.
okay. Yeah, you do get used to it, but it's there are some hitboxes that are a bit shit, and it's
Mhm.
frustrating sometimes.
Yeah, right. Of course.
I remember when I played it, the bees were always
Bro,
an issue.
yeah.
The
Then it
bees
turns
are
out they're not bees; they're actually wasps.
they're wasps. Oh, well,
I don't know why they're in a
care.
beehive.
Yeah, dude, they are horrible.
I'm really
are
glad they
horrible to
specified that. They were
find.
like, you know, we
Yeah.
can't have people thinking that these are bees. We need to make sure they know that they're wasps.
They're
Yep.
wasps.
They're actually wasps.
Yeah, but they are absolutely horrible to verse.
Oh yeah, no, those
Absolutely
levels are the
horrible.
worst.
Yeah.
You know, maybe one day I might give it a shot. You know, here's the thing with Donkey Kong Country is it is on Switch. I'm pretty sure it's on Switch Online. I can play it if I wanted
It
to.
is.
But as I've said, I mean, you guys don't know this, but I've got such a massive list of like a backlog that
Yes.
like but part of me does want to go back and revisit some of these classic games just to get like a sense of like where we've kind of been and where we are now. You know what I mean? Like I kind of feel like it puts everything in perspective
Yeah.
in a weird
100%.
way. Maybe for another time, you know, maybe another time. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe we'll go back into the past.
But
a
I'm glad
couple.
you're enjoying it. Like, obviously, I
Yeah.
know you've always said that Donkey Kong Country is like one of your favorite games to play. So,
Yep,
Mhm.
I'm
makes sense
almost
that
finished, and
you're-
I'm going for number 3 soon. So
you did number one as well, or you just went straight to 2?
I just went straight to 2. I played 1 like somewhat recently, so
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Understandable.
it's been
Understandable.
years.
Now,
Alright.
Ben, do you have any other games you've been playing that you want to talk about?
I do. Actually, probably one of my favorite games that I, in recent memory, I finally went and I finished off my run, Spiritfarer, which,
Nice.
holy shit, great game. So basically, the whole run of Spiritfarer is that you play this person named Stella. She becomes the farer of souls. You basically are the person that sends souls that are restless. You take them and you complete whatever journey they want to go on until they can finally pass on to the afterlife. And first off, gameplay itself, it's really amazing. You have this giant boat, and you can constantly upgrade it, make it bigger, and you add like houses and machinery and wood shops and so on onto it to explore the seas, which makes it very, very good. And there's other stuff that you can do, which is like you can catch like jellyfish, which are flying through the sky. You can catch like lightning, which is striking down. There's all these different stuff, but the main kicker of the game, which makes it so good for me and why I absolutely love it, is that the game really kicks your heart quite a lot. It is such a sad game. It's such a sad game because you kind of get on the understanding of the story until it gets about 50 to 75% of the way through. And then it gets so much more sad because the ending of the game is just it. I here so background on this. I don't really cry to many things. I have only cried to 3 things. Okay?
Emotionless, completely emotionless.
Emotionless, yes. Movies, not really, nothing like that. But there's only been like a couple of movies and one that I've cried to. And this game was one of the games where I actually did tear up because the ending is just so sad. It is just
But
so
no
sad.
spoilers. No spoilers.
I'm not spoiling because I
Because
really
once again, like this backlog, this is on my backlog. You know,
Yeah,
it's sitting
dude,
there like
this
one day.
is-
You know, who knows?
this is one of those games where I would highly recommend to play because same thing. How you said how Vampire Survivors was your kind of chill game.
Mhm.
This was mine. This was the really chill game where you could just sit back, do your things, really easy to get through. And it seriously is that type of game where it's just so easy to get through. But then when I got to around that 80-90% mark, it got like to the point of the game where I'm like, shit, you really understand what's going on with the story and you kind of understand why the story is. And it is a kind of twist because you're not expecting what actually happens, but
But now I'm expecting the unexpected.
you're not expecting unexpected, but you still will not expect this ending. I'm not kidding you. You will not
I
expect
will
the
say,
ending.
I mean, I don't know, like the whole reason that it's sad is because you are the Spiritfarer, right? Like you're guiding these people to the afterlife.
Yes,
Like, that's the whole premise of the game. So it's just
Yep.
it's you know from the get go it's gonna kick you in the feels.
Exactly. And there's a lot of moments and there's a lot of characters that you kind of get really attached to. You do the stories, you get really attached to them, and it gets really sad when you start to get to some of the characters later on because like there's one character and I'll say this one because this is one of like 30 characters where she's a sweet old lady. You're having a great time with her. You make food with her and stuff like that. She teaches how to make cakes and so on. But then she starts to struggle to walk, and then she starts to forget things, and she
Oh my
starts to
God.
slowly develop like dementia, and
No
it gets
shot.
really hard. It gets really heartfelt because then what happens is she starts talking about her husband who's not with her, and she thinks you're her husband. And at one point, you sew an outfit that he used to wear so you can get her to the boat to take her to
Oh
so she
my
can move
God.
on.
No,
So
these
sad.
developers, man, they need to go to fucking like emotion prison.
It's
Like that's
so
not right.
sad.
That's
It's
not right.
so sad. It really is. But like that's what the game is, and it's really sad. But it's so beautiful seeing these people's stories and connecting with them and so on, and
Yeah, right.
just going through it. Beautiful game. I would just anyone highly recommend to play it. It's such a chill game as well. It's seriously.
Yeah, I actually because I did start this game because it was on Game Pass for a little bit. It's now no longer on Game Pass, but I did pick it up on PlayStation when it was on sale.
Yes.
So I think it's maybe one of the sooner games that I'm gonna try and
I
play.
would highly recommend it. It doesn't take that
Um,
long to actually get through it as well. It's not that long. It's pretty quick. It's like
Isn't it like 20 or 30 hours?
it's only about 20 hours. It's only about 20 hours to actually get through it. That's if you don't do any of the side content. There's a lot of side content to do.
Oh,
If
see,
you
but you know
just
me, I'm gonna do the side content.
like I have
100%.
about 50 to 60 hours in the game, and that's 100% of the game.
Right.
So it is a pretty chunky game.
Yeah.
And as I said before with Dead Cells, the OST in this game is phenomenal. It is absolutely incredible. Some of the songs just pull your heartstrings, and like the song, and like they really fit the scenery well, and absolutely amazing game. So yeah, I would very good game. Would highly recommend it.
So shifting emotions
Yes.
to a new kind of this is not emotional at all. This is called Neon White. This game that you're looking at right now is called Neon White. And dude, I was obsessed with this game like basically all the way like half of last year, and then like I just finished it recently in January. So I guess the best way to describe this game is it's kind of a tale of two games. Well, you may see it in the gameplay right now, but there are moments where you have these kind of like there's sort of like these dialogue moments, but it reminds me of like some shit that fucking that Shadow would play like a weeb ass like like a what are they called? Like a visual novel.
Oh, yep.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, they got those sorts of moments in it.
And oh god, I couldn't. I hated them. I hated so much. That was the worst part about the game. Was these moments of like these two characters who were like really animated and like they honestly reminded me of like super crazy over the top anime characters.
Mhm.
Um and I think they knew that people weren't going to vibe with it because there is an option to skip the dialogue, like just set it on like, and it does this recording, like skipping through animation. So like they knew that people weren't going to vibe with it.
Yeah.
But so that side sucks, right? The story I wouldn't say is very good. I think it's well worth skipping.
Mhm.
You don't, but that says a lot about the gameplay that I still love this game, even if half of it basically is to me was kind of bad.
Mm.
And that's the gameplay, right? So what you see here is like you've sort of got you pick up these cards in the game, and those cards, the left click is a gun, and then the right click is a movement ability. And so basically, the objective of the game is to get through these levels as quickly as possible using these cards that you pick up.
Mhm.
And so like you start out and you're just using like a yellow pistol, super basic. A lot of the enemies are one shot, one kill kind of things with the pistol. But then if you right click, you can jump. You can do like a double jump. And so like the whole vibe of it is like you're being timed, and they really want you to speed run it and go back and find new routes to play to go through to get through as quickly as possible.
Mm.
And you like I am not a speedrunner at all, like not even a little bit. Don't really care for speedrunning that much. But with that being said, I was doing these runs. Like I think you could finish this game in like 20 minutes if you really want to.
Yeah.
If you just don't go for the super fast runs and you just do one level, like you just play the level and that's it. You go to the next one. You get the bronze medal. But it took me like 20 hours to beat this game because I was just replaying levels over and over and over again.
Mm.
And it is so fun. It is so quick, so speedy, and you just feel like a total boss, like a champion when you finish these levels and you get the gold medal. And then on top of that gold medal, you get an ace medal. And so you're kind of lowering these ranks, going lower and lower to rank 1 before you get to the end. And I loved it. I just think it from a gameplay perspective, it is so fine tuned and kind of perfect in just how your character feels, how the movement abilities work. I just really loved it. Loved it a lot. So I recommend it with the caveat that you should definitely skip the dialogue.
Half of it. Recommend half.
Because half of it basically. And also it's not, I understand you can skip it, but
Yeah.
you can see up there the F, you can just press F and it skips along and you don't have to worry about these. There's also a weird like moment where you go to the beach and then all the characters are in like bikinis and swimwear. Very strange. Very
Downloading
strange
game?
game. They were
Downloading game.
they were definitely baiting a certain community.
Yes.
I bought 7.
There is another side to it as well. There's collectibles that you can get, and you kind of give them to characters, and they give you like side missions.
Mhm.
And the cool thing about the side missions is that I'll just say it really quickly. They sort of take stuff away from you. Like some of the side missions are like, okay, you can't use the movement ability. You just have to use the gun. Get through the level. Figure it out. And I love
That's
that marriage of gameplay and puzzle solving and brainstorming.
Yeah.
I honestly think this, like if I hadn't have played Vampire Survivors, I think this would have been my favorite indie game of last year.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so like I cannot say enough good things about the gameplay. It is so fun. It's like basically perfect. But yeah, that was my experience with Neon White. Recommended. It's probably on sale. It'll be on sale. Highly recommend checking it out. But make sure you skip those cutscenes.
Yeah.
Like these ones right now.
Yeah, like this one
The
right
one
now.
just
Yeah.
sitting on the screen right now. Yeah. So Nathan,
Yeah.
Yes.
speaking of speedrunning,
Yeah. Speaking of
because obviously
speedrun,
I've been doing a little bit of speedrunning in Neon White, but you've also been doing some speedrunning
in a little
in
game
some
called
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Yeah, some Minecraft speedrunning. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I wanted to get back to playing Minecraft, but I did some speedruns a long time ago before there was like a really nice solidified meta. And now I'm back into it, and there's a nice solidified meta. And speedruns are so much easier and so much faster. And I still haven't managed to get a time down, but it's fun as fuck. what you're seeing on screen right now is definitely one of my speedruns and not the world record currently. Right now.
Just paste across it. NATO 62 speedrun
Yeah.
right here, right now. World
Um,
exclusive.
Yeah, no, I've been watching XUC play a bit because he got back into it and he tried to beat his PB. And I've watched this and the runner-up speedrun so many times. They're just insane. Like the technical skills of these people, they're crazy. I want to
Yes.
try and get this good, even though I know I never will be. I want to at least pretend like I might be that good and
Attempt.
just whiff
So-
a mad amount of copium and say that I can do it.
Yeah.
Just
It's
a
just
whole
the seeds,
half of
guys.
copium.
It's
It's
just the
just-
seeds.
Just the seed.
So with like, there's a lot of RNG that comes into micro speedrunning, right? There's a lot of RNG that comes into it. Like,
But I think there's also it is
There is
RNG, right?
still.
But
There
I think
is.
it is like the adaptability of the player.
Oh, 100%. Like, 100%.
Like obviously there because even if you get a god seed, you need to capitalize on it, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And
I've
so like
definitely got 2 seeds where I feel bad that I'm shit at it.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I feel like I could get like under 30 minutes with it easily, but
Yeah.
I just can't because I'm not good at it right now.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're
Yeah.
still learning. Yeah, exactly.
Because
I
the-
love
the-
watching speedruns. I
Seriously.
like
This guy's
spec-
crazy.
specifically
Because-
Minecraft speedruns because like they're doing so many things all at once that I'm like, I don't know how to do like one of these
Yeah.
things. Like
The
I know
thing
how to
is-
mine.
There's so much knowledge as well. Like you'll see here, he's probably gonna go for gold. Yeah. Like he's gonna get gold blocks. He knows exactly where all of them are in each area. Like it's actually insane on the knowledge they have in this. And it's just the commitment to have to it as well, because they're sitting here as well beforehand and they're just rolling seed after seed after seed.
Yeah,
just
when you
waiting
watch
for
the
the
speedruns,
right
you don't
one.
see that. The
Yeah, you
Like,
hours
don't
of
you don't see
toiling.
you just see like the world record run and you're like, wow, that seems easy. But
That's
then it's
easy.
like all
Yeah.
the time and effort that goes into
That
learning the
goes into
mechanics
it. Yeah.
and then
Because having
perfecting it.
Yeah, because having to learn how to like one small one that is a struggle when you're new is killing the Ender Dragon with the bed, right? It looks easy to do, but there is a timing down, like kind of like a rhythm that goes down with it, which makes it quite difficult to get done. But it's just insane. It's just
I'm
insane.
okay.
Yeah, I
at
didn't
the Ender
realize
Dragon,
that.
but
Yeah.
the second I entered these bastions, it
All goes down the
It
hill.
all goes down the drain.
the piglins, man, I can't get around them yet. They just
Mhm.
kill me every time.
Yeah, but it's gotten down to such a rhythm now, like such just down to mechanical prowess with Minecraft speedruns. It's insane.
Nathan, I think you've just got to dream a little bit harder.
Yeah,
that's-
exactly.
I think
You
you
gotta
just
get
got to
the
be dreaming.
GRNG.
You just got to be dreaming.
Get the
Yeah.
dream RNG. That's what you gotta get.
But yeah, it's crazy. Like even with like the Ender Dragon and the beds, like seeing people do that, I was like, oh, you just spam put down the beds.
No,
Okay.
there's a
But there's
very
like there's a
specific
method.
timing.
There's a total
Yeah.
method to it because you can like get 4 beds and you can get it down to like 4 or 5 beds.
Yeah.
And obviously
Yeah,
like if
four's
you
the
re-
minimum, yeah.
yeah 4 yeah right. And yeah, it's like it's all these things like you just look at it and it's like, oh, that seems not that difficult to do, but it's actually like a lot harder.
It's
than,
really tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
no.
do it in 6. I haven't got down to 4 yet.
Yeah, 4 seems really tough
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
for
a lot of
like,
practice.
yeah, 100%.
because it is like absolute perfect timing to get 4. Like
Yeah,
need to be
it's
basically
within a
completely
pretty
precise.
close margin. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not even going into stuff like, coordination with your Eyes of Ender to know exactly where the end portal is. You know what I mean? Like where you throw. Yeah,
Recently, there's been a change.
there has. Okay.
You're allowed to use a calculation bot now that grabs your coordinates copy pasted from your clipboard and feeds it straight in and can tell you exactly where the end portal is. It is legal on speedrun.com.
There you
It's
go, there
actually
you
legal.
go.
Okay, that actually changes quite a lot then. That
Yes,
actually
it
changes
does.
a
It's
lot.
much,
Yeah.
much easier.
Yeah, because there used to be a thing where you had to triangulate it, where you'd throw one and then run to like another side, throw another, and then you would kind of like
Yeah, and
in
then you
your
got to
head
do some
calculate it.
maths in your brain.
Yeah, to actually do it. It's just insane. Yeah.
Fuck, there's maths involved. Nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a Minecraft
More.
speedrunner. No thanks. No thanks, dude.
But no, Minecraft speedrunning is just one of the more insane things. It is 100% one of the more insane things.
It's crazy because I feel like it came out of nowhere, sort of. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just
Minecraft.
it really got. I feel like it in the last couple years it got really, really popular, or like in
Yeah.
like the last 3
Well,
years.
yeah, Minecraft itself got very popular in like 2020, right? It was just
No,
around
I mean
that-
it was a
Oh, it was
phenomenon
always,
before
but
then.
you know what
I
I
feel
mean,
like
like,
in
on
particular, like
YouTube.
the speedrunning community, like people paid attention more to it.
True,
know?
true. That's a good point. That is a good point. Yeah, 100%.
Because like Minecraft, how
100%.
many people play Minecraft now? There's like 250 million players.
Oh, there's a lot.
or
It's
more,
insane.
300 million. It's crazy. It's like
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I mean, there's always been a lot
Yeah,
of
see, there
Minecraft
it is.
players
Ninja Brain
Yeah.
on the right there. That's the
Yeah,
bot.
there
on the
you go.
right.
Calculates it.
Yeah,
to calculate it.
and they just go straight forward.
So you'll see
And
he'll throw
also-
it again and he'll copy his coordinates to his clipboard and it'll just automatically input it to the bot. You ready?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
3, 2,
insane.
1. There he goes. 100%. That is exactly what the portal is right there. Those
And
coordinates.
the insane thing as well is how much people now use like F3, like hiding blocks and so on. Because now when you go to the Nether, people will go into F3, and I forgot what it is, but like there's a dial basically where you can look and like there's a
Yeah,
certain
you're
like
just looking for
entity.
entities.
Yeah, entity spawn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These filthy pause gamers, you know, they're just pausing the game because they can just do that. Disgusting. Illness.
But no, it's just it's really cool. It is really cool watching it. It is
Yeah.
very, very
It's fun
Speedrunning in
too.
general is like crazy. Like,
Oh,
it's
one
just-
of Oh,
yeah,
you
you go. You know, I was just gonna say it's nuts to watch, and it's something that like I'm not necessarily gonna like participate in, but just watching it, like every time they do like games done quick on Twitch, it's always fun to watch
Yeah.
like random games that people do.
One of my favorite things to watch that's speedrunning is Ghost Runner. Ghost Runner speedruns are
Yeah.
really cool to watch. They're very, very cool because it just takes all the basic mechanics that have in the game and they just amplify it to just this beautiful just amalgamation of just skill. That's literally what it is. It's insane. It's really cool. I love watching Ghost Runner speedruns. But yeah, it's just.
Do they
really
do
cool.
like the Ghost Runner speedruns? Are they doing like glitches to skip levels?
So
or...
there's two. There's
yeah,
glitchless
they can do
and
like
glitches.
100%. Yeah,
Glitchless is much better. It's much because glitch is
skill, pure skill.
Yeah, glitch does have some skill because you have to go into like the
Yeah,
right
of
area.
course.
There's small
Yeah,
nooks and
but
crannies to get into.
I agree that I think glitch is the least fun to watch out of speedruns.
Glitch is just so much better. And the thing about Ghost Runner is that glitch and glitchless are actually a very competitive category. They're very similar in time to each other, so like there's no real difference in doing one or other.
Oh, really? Is it
Yeah,
like there's not a lot of like glitches to
No.
actually do?
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's only one glitch in Ghost Runner that's actually allowed in glitchless, and that's one at the very, very end where basically there's these platforms that are going towards you, and what you do is you stand on the platform, and then what happens when it gets to the other side, it'll teleport you and the platform back to the other side, and they just allow that in glitchless. But that's the only time where you're kind of doing a glitch in the game, which is very cool. It's very, very nice. But yeah,
bottom line
speedrun is so quick that it's pretty much over now in the segment that we've been talking about.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, we've been talking about
that's so
it's nearly
nuts.
done. Yeah,
It'll be done in less than a minute.
Yeah, which
That's
is
wild.
incredible.
Yeah, speedrunning cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Love it.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll never do it though. Even though a little bit of Neon White, but also like with Neon White, it was just like if I get the ace medal, like the top medal, that's it. I'm done. I'm out.
I think I probably will get into speedrunning. I think I probably will get into it eventually.
You're gonna speedrun Spiritfarer?
No, I think that's like an 8-hour thing to do. I think it's I think it's like insane.
I'm sure there's plenty of speedruns out there that I could do because they're just so long. It's like you got to do this for 15 hours straight.
Oh well, like there's GTA Campaign 100% speedrun, which is like 9 hours, and you're sitting there for 9 hours doing that. It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
That's just a test of endurance for sure.
It really is. It really is. I used to watch that, and you would see like the start, they're really excited, and at the end, they're just sitting there all drogged out. They're so tired. Yeah, it's very funny. Yeah, it just doesn't seem fun at all.
I want to see someone like 100% like Assassin's Creed Valhalla speedrun.
Oh yeah,
that's got to be like 30 hours. Like I honestly would be very shocked to see what the speedrun for that is because that's a big game. That's a really big game. Like,
really
it's like 120 hours of content.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah, awesome that you're doing some speedrunning.
Yeah,
and Minecraft's a good one because I feel like it's like I think the skills involved with it are really cool and like the methods you have to use.
Watch this space. A lot of I can get a sub 30, I believe.
Okay.
I'll be watching this.
What is your time? What is your time?
I haven't got a time since I started running the new meta. My old meta time was an hour and something.
Okay.
But that was before this version.
That's still pretty decent. That's still pretty decent.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it in an hour.
Yeah, I could not do it. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's good.
Anyway.
That's good.
Ben, your next game that you've been playing.
Well, the one that you guys don't want to talk about. You can get the 2-minute timer on.
I've got a timer.
I already mentioned this, and I'm going to mention it to you guys now. So obviously Ben is going to talk about Overwatch.
Yes.
and obviously, famously, Nathan and I fucking hate Overwatch.
Yes.
Actually, I don't actually hate it that much, but I'm just burnt out on it.
Yeah, understandable.
I just opened the calculator app for some fucking reason.
Just let me know. I'll start the video. Actually, I'll start the video now. I'll just start it now. But let me know, and I'll start it.
That's fine. Hold on. Just feel the air, you know?
Feel the air, yeah. So,
that is not what I wanted.
Here's the thing. I haven't played too much Overwatch in the past like week because Roadhog has just ruined it for me. It's seriously
ruining it.
It's
ruining it.
horrible. You're ruining
Just
it.
ruining it.
Like, I thought Sojourn would be the bad one, but Roadhog had just made it horrible.
I can't find my alarm app, dude.
You
I mean,
can't?
I'll just
Yeah.
I'll
Just
look at
let
my
me know,
clock.
just let
I'm
me know.
looking at it when
Look.
it's 9:38. You're done.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Look, basically, my camera, please. Yeah, basically with Roadhog, he's just made the game horrible. I hate it. He has too much sustain with his heal, which is just incredible for tanks. And his hook.
Actually, this is the part where everyone can take a nap. Okay, audience,
Yeah, exactly.
You can just have a nap
exactly.
right now.
But
2 minutes.
the
Power nap.
one thing that I did want to talk about with Overwatch, the main reason I actually wanted to bring up Overwatch
Mhm.
was that the new season, the new like event came out, the lunar event came out. Okay, and one thing that
Ooh.
Overwatch has been doing, which I hate, and I feel like you boys would get a kick out of this, is you know how they said they're going to bring skins in to actually have like an incentive to do the events.
Right.
The skins they're bringing out for the last 2 events have been year 1 skins of Overwatch 1.
Of course they
Oh.
are.
Of course, yeah.
Hey,
So
wait,
you
hey,
had
money.
You think they're gonna make a new skin just for you?
Hey, they did with
Free?
Brigette, but they have not done for the last 2.
Absolutely
so they did.
not.
They had
Not
Winged
on Blizzard's
Victory.
watch.
They had Winged Victory, which I think everyone has. I think Nathan, you have that one as well, right? Winged Victory. I think everyone has that skin for Mercy.
Yep.
And then for Echo, they brought out another skin, which was back in Overwatch 1 as well. And it's just so frustrating. I hate it. It sucks. It really is frustrating because the events are actually somewhat fun. But it's just not good. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But I know you guys don't like talking about Overwatch too much. But
Here's the thing with Overwatch, right? Is that
Hmm.
I think the thing with Overwatch is that it's just the same thing over and over again. Like, and here's the thing: the meta just shifts from annoying character that's meta to annoying character. Like, there's no,
Yes.
I haven't felt once in Overwatch 2 where I'm like, I don't feel like I'm gonna be pissed off by some characters.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like it
No.
just feels very annoying. And I feel like I wasn't that annoyed by Overwatch 1, but maybe it's like rose tinted glasses and I don't
yeah.
remember exactly.
No,
But I feel like when I was playing it back in Overwatch 1, I didn't feel like I was getting that frustrated. And maybe that's because it was just very early days and the meta was sort of still forming.
yeah.
Because I do remember I stopped playing Overwatch 1 when they introduced like the not the gank meta, but when everyone was the jump, when everyone would jump on each other.
Dive meta?
Dive meta. When that happened, that was why I was
Season-
out.
Yeah, season 1 to 4 in Overwatch 1 was probably one of the best because no one knew what the hell was going on, and you didn't have these solidified metas. You didn't have goats or anything like that came out. But now in Overwatch 2, because of all the changes, you have like, I'm a support main, right? Nathan, you understand because you're Mercy as well. Support sucks because no changes,
We're
right?
2 minutes over time.
Man,
Oh.
I'm so sorry, but you've run out of time.
I've run out of
sorry, yeah,
time?
like, the time is up.
Damn.
Unfortunately.
Well, I got another 2 minutes.
Stay tuned for
it's
next week
fine.
when
yeah.
Seto does another 2 minutes over Overwatch talk.
exactly. But yeah, no, it's just maybe update.
You know what?
I want to say.
I think it's time to talk about good games.
Yes.
And talk about good games that came out 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because
Wait,
everyone loves
5
good
years
games that
ago?
came out 5 years ago. Well, not yet.
Yeah.
October this year, it'll be 5
Holy
years.
shit.
Mhm.
Still.
Yeah, so I've been playing, obviously keep mentioning, got a massive backlog. It's like 3 pages long. You would think, hey, Jamie, you should just play some games that you haven't played before, right? No. Absolutely not. I went back to Red Dead Redemption. Mainly because we listened to the soundtrack while we were playing Raft the other night.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? I want to experience this game again. Because I had it on PC and I hadn't actually played it all the way through. And god damn, this game is good. And the reason I wanted to bring it up was I've got one particular story about just the magic of this game. So I loved basically the random encounters in the game. But a really funny thing happened while a random encounter happened. So I'm going along, I'm like near Valentine, and there's a carriage coming towards me, and it's the carriage with like the prisoner saying, "They've got the wrong guy. Like I'm innocent. You need to save me." And I was like, mid game Arthur would probably let it happen, but early game Arthur, kind of a bad guy. I feel like he would kill these police officers. So I was like, I'm really like role playing into it. I'm also taking it very slow. Like I'm like 15 hours in and I've done like 2 main missions, not including the prologue stuff. So I'm sort of like playing the role of Arthur in the early game where he is kind of a douchebag. And so I kill the police officers and then there's a witness, of course. And I'm like, fuck, there's a witness. And then they're like, oh, dude, the bounty hunters are on you now. I'm like, fuck, the bounty hunters are on me. Shit. And so I've also been hunting. So I've got a deer on my back I've got a muskrat on my side. I've got a bald eagle here. And I'm like, dude, I gotta go. I gotta get the fuck out of here. I saved the prisoner. I also loot the police officers, which gives me more negative XP. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm still halfway, like half, in the good / bad. And so I start booking it. And these bounty hunters are on my ass. I'm like, gee, I should not have shot those police officers. But I also thought maybe they're not police officers. Maybe they're just kidnapping, And so I'm running, I'm like fucking gunning it. And I'm like, I'm getting away from them. And then I hit the creek. And I'm like, oh no. And my horse takes a little tumble. And I'm like, oh no. And so of course my horse tumbles. And all of my hunted animals are in the river now. I felt like I got flashbacks to Death Stranding, where you fucking fall over as Sam Porter Bridges, and all your inventory falls in the river, and it's all going downstream. And so I am in the river, like my head is like half underwater, and the deer is going down the river, the bald eagle, the muskrat, and I'm still being shot at by bounty hunters. And I'm like, this is not a situation I wanted to be in. And luckily, it all ended well, right? I killed the bounty hunters. My stuff stops on a rock. Luckily, I get out. I don't drown. Great. Fantastic. Horse survives. Awesome. But it was just that moment where I was like, one dumb decision spiraled everything. And it was, I love that, like, there's so many different systems in that game that are all working in tandem that just make these really cool moments that you just don't expect. Like, it's a random moment. It's not scripted at all. And I love that about it. I mean, I love it because obviously, like, the first time I played it, I streamed it. And so there wasn't a lot of like open world exploration that I was doing. And so doing that now, I'm like, this game was next level. It's still next level. 4 years later. It still just pops. So I just a little story about the game. That's all. That's all I wanted to say. Just a great game. Really enjoying it. Although I will say the main missions too restrictive.
Yes.
I really hope that that GTA GTA 6 is a little bit more open.
Yes.
A little bit more open with its design.
Yeah,
because I feel like Rockstar solved their open world like immersion issue, but they haven't solved their campaign mission issue, I think.
There is a lot of restrictiveness where, like, I remember so many times where I'm riding on a horse and then I will like deviate a little bit off track because we're getting shot at. I would go for cover, something like that, and then oh no, got out of it, resets you back. Right? It's just very frustrating. But no, the game itself is just beautiful, though.
Oh
the game, yeah, it's an incredible game, absolutely incredible.
I mean, Red Dead 2 is what happens when you have a development team that is super fucking talented and also has infinite money and also has like basically infinite time to work on a game.
Yep.
Like it's basically the pinnacle of what a AAA game developer can accomplish.
Yep.
And I just think it will be unmatched until GTA 6 comes out. I just think Rockstar just does it different. They hit different.
Yes, they really do. 100%. And there's one thing about Red Dead and that I think it doesn't really get talked about a lot is that characters and the voice actors did like a fantastic job. People talk about like, the gameplay and whatnot, but like, for example, everyone hates Micah. Everyone hates him. And it's rightfully so. Everyone hates him, right? And rightfully so. You're supposed to, right? You're supposed to hate it. And the actor and the script and everything, they did such a fantastic job to do it. They did such an amazing job. And like Arthur, his character arc is fantastic as well. Like I feel like people don't really talk about it enough, but it's just so good. It's so good that they just were able to make these stories.
I honestly feel like if they made, like, say they make a Red Dead Redemption 2 movie or maybe like a series, that shit's winning awards.
Oh, 100%.
Like that is a like Academy Award winning script. Like honestly, like it's one of a very short list of games that I think would work so well as another piece of media.
I was going
to like a really good book, like it just
100%. I was going to say that there's been so many games, especially recently, that have been so cinematically pleasing. You know what I mean? You have Red Dead, God of War, Last of Us, just so cinematically pleasing of games that you could see them go into other media, and you kind of hope they go into other media. And we saw for Last of Us, for example, it did, and it kicks ass. You know what I mean?
So
you see it, right? And I hope that we do see either Red Dead or we see God of War or something like that do go to other media, because I do think it could do really, really well.
Yeah, I honestly, while I think that these games are like cinematic masterpieces, right? I do think that in terms of like utilizing the medium of video games, I don't know if they're using it in the best way, if that makes sense.
I
Like
would agree.
they basically are making a movie or a TV
Mhm.
show um with like segments of gameplay in the middle.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think a lot of games, like, you know, when people say like The Last of Us is the best video game story ever told, I'm like, it might be the best story in video games, but I don't think it's the best video game story, if that makes sense. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a
Mhm.
really good story. It's a fantastic story, and obviously you can see that it works so well, um, in like for the HBO show.
Mhm.
But um, when it comes to like utilizing player agency, it's not really, you know, like
Yeah. Mhm.
the only real agency is, do you want to play this mission in stealth or do you want to, you know, go guns
Yeah.
blazing?
Mhm. Mhm.
And Red Dead's a little bit different with that, where like in the open world you do have that agency, but then once
Yes.
again you go to these campaign missions and you are very much like, go here, follow this character,
Do
follow this
this.
waypoint, do this
Mhm.
action, plant the
Mhm.
dynamite, you know. And I do, you know, I wonder if that is if that's the best that of video games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that's
100%.
really the pinnacle of if the pinnacle of video game storytelling is just going to be making a movie look it looks really pretty and it plays like a movie, you know?
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
wonder.
Yeah, yeah. That's one thing that I did think about, like with like God of War Ragnarok, for example. Amazing game, love the game, but it's very much shows an experience over playing a game. You know what I mean? It's very much like that, where like because there's a big thing of talking about like which game would get game of the year, God of War Ragnarok or Elden Ring, right?
Mhm.
Personally, I think God of War Ragnarok is a better like experience.
Mhm.
Well, I think Elden Ring is a better video game.
Right.
That's what I
No,
think.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're 100% right.
I
Because I
think
think
that's
Elden Ring is utilizing the medium of video games better
than what
in
God of War
terms
did.
of like, because God of War is a fantastic story. It has great gameplay. It's you know, it's awesome.
Mhm.
But you could make a good God of War Ragnarok that's a movie, whereas
Yes.
I don't know if you can necessarily make a good HBO Elden Ring show.
No, I don't think you could
Where
at
I
all.
think the experience of playing Elden Ring is that's the secret sauce, you know?
Very much so.
The
Yeah,
secret
very
sauce of
much.
God of War is the story. The secret sauce of Elden Ring is the discovery and the exploration.
100%. You playing through, you like discovering all like with like Blade and Renea, or was it the God, Queen of the
All
Moon?
all of
Yeah.
yeah, all of the bosses and
Oh
locations,
yeah.
you just keep going deeper and deeper.
Mhm.
Anyways, Red Dead Redemption 2, pretty good. I think what we have time for, like, maybe how many more games do we have to get through?
I think we can just do Nathan. I feel like Nathan has
Yeah, we
one
can skip
actually
our
big
last
game.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm
Pick
okay with
four
that.
each.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I you know what? I'll play a little bit more Gotham Knights. Come back to you next week with how I feel about that game.
Mhm.
Spoiler alert: it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be a good one.
No.
So yeah,
No.
we can talk about potion craft for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
So a game that I've been playing is called Potion Craft.
Mhm.
It's a game where you take on as being a potion master and you create potions for people. People come around to your store and they ask for potions. See, here's this guy. He's asking for a thing and he's selling it. It's pretty cool.
How does the gameplay loop work exactly? Because I haven't seen much about this game. I've seen screenshots, but I'm not sure exactly like what you're doing moment to moment in terms of crafting these potions. Are you buying ingredients from people?
Yes. So like this person, she's selling
Mhm.
some ingredients. You also grow some ingredients in your back garden.
Yeah.
The idea is that it's kind of like a self-driven thing. Like there is
Mhm.
a store, like it drives you to do a certain thing in a certain way, but you want to like drive yourself to make the best potions possible to make the most money. And people obviously like it better when you sell them better quality potions.
Mhm.
But I find the way that the potion making is done, just so like clever for like
Yes.
you think it'd be such like a mundane game, but the way that it's basically just like a map, and you have to just like weave the potion around, and like you have to carefully pick ingredients so that you don't accidentally like destroy the potion.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And some people ask for like specific ingredients and stuff,
Mhm.
but once you've made a potion you can save the recipe and you can just create it again with a single click. Like
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, so it's like it's you sort of actually crafting it for the first time,
yeah,
but then subsequently when you're making you've got to make more of them, you just click a button. That's cool.
yeah.
I
So you
like
can
that.
see it here on the map. He's crushing up the ingredients to make them drive better. And he
Mhm.
puts it in the pot, and you can see that on the screen there. Once he stirs it, the potion moves to the left.
Right.
And
Okay. Yeah.
he's
Cool.
crushing up the ingredients again, puts it in the pot. and then stirs it and goes to
Yeah,
the left.
awesome.
It's basically
And-
that, but like there's like 100 ingredients and they all do slightly different things and different maneuvers around the map.
Yeah.
And I think there's probably 40 different potions. I don't know. There's a lot.
There's
okay.
about 30 to 40 different potions.
Yeah,
from what I
and then
remember.
there's some
a
very
lot.
specific ones that you have to make like really specific like salts and stones.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But yeah, it took me about 30 hours to finish, which is a bit over the average. But I was doing it while I was watching TV, so it was
Right,
it was
yeah.
pretty chill. Yeah.
It does seem like
Mhm.
another chill game.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
And also for the people who are just listening, imagine like the art. I think the art style is really cool. Like I think to call that out. Like I love how it sort of looks like a potion book in a way. Like everything's sort of like made. You know what I mean? Like it sort
Yeah,
of
it's got
looks
that,
like it's
like,
in.
burnt wet paper hue on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I love how just like the art looks. Like it looks like you would see like it would be like a potion maker's like drawings of like the equipment in a way.
Mhm.
Really like how it looks.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's dope.
Yeah.
I definitely think I'm gonna check this out because it's on Game Pass. So
Yeah, it's worth
yeah.
worth a look. It might
is.
resonate, it may not. Worth
Mm.
a go. But yeah, no, that's Potioncraft.
Yeah, very
Hell
good
yeah.
game.
Good. Well, that's what we've been playing this week. So I think it's been a good week. Lots of cool games, some old classics, some newish games, and the new games are coming. You know, they're coming soon, and they're coming fast and hard.
Hey yo.
Hey, yo, dude.
Speaking of new games, we thought so. Obviously, Seto and I did a podcast. Ben and I did a podcast 2 years ago,
Mhm.
where like for the first episode, we did a run through of like the 2020 games that were coming out. That would be great to do that again. But I also thought, what if we mix it up a little bit, have a little bit of fun, make it a game. This isn't the first podcast I've seen do this, by the way. A lot of other podcasts do this. This is totally a yoinked idea from other gaming podcasts. But I think it's so good that it'd be a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
So this is called FantasyCritic.games. And it's basically imagine fantasy football, right? So you're picking your team members. Instead of team members, we're picking games, right? And so instead of obviously waiting for an NFL season or some shit, basically when these games come out, they get reviewed and those reviews get aggregated and they go on a site called OpenCritic. And the way it works is our drafted games, you get points based on how many points above 70 a game scores. So an example I have is like, say Nathan drafts FIFA 24 and that scores a 78. He gets 8 points. The caveat to that is if Nathan drafts FIFA 24 and it gets a 65, he loses 5 points.
Oh, I didn't know
So,
that.
Yeah.
Above 70 means you get points. Below 70, you lose points.
Shit.
Yeah.
There is also there's another part which is the bidding. We can talk about that after we draft, and then there's also counter picks which we'll also talk about after we draft. So let's get into it. It looks like the first person to pick is Nathan.
Yep.
I feel like I already know what he's gonna pick.
Yeah, same. I think I already
Like
know.
a really obvious one. Nathan, what's your first pick?
Hmm.
Oh, I wonder. Oh, is it?
There it is.
Oh, is it potentially the one with the maximum fucking hype factor?
Yeah.
A guaranteed 90?
Can I
Another
just
thing.
explain what I've got going here on another
Sure,
screen? I
sure.
before the fact have set up some stuff.
Mhm.
I looked at like a good chunk of the games in this list coming out
Mhm.
this year, and I decided to go and look at all of their previous games in the like
In
the game
OpenCritic.
that came before it. Yeah.
Yep, that's
And
what I did too. Yeah.
I've got a table of all of the scores from the previous game.
Oh my god,
And this
You've
is
actually
the
gone
top
out.
one. So I'm choosing Legend of Zelda Tears of the
bro
Kingdom.
is going
That's a good
hard.
idea. That's a
Yeah,
good
that is.
idea.
So another thing with this scores, right? What was that?
I don't know.
Uh,
Drafted it.
Random fucking. So I was just dropping.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously you get 1 point equal to a point. So 71, you get 1 point. If you get say over a 90, every point above 90 is 2 points.
Oh.
So say Nathan gets Tears of the Kingdom, he got it, and it gets a 91, he gets 20.
Oh, it's getting higher than a 91.
It's getting higher than a 91. I think that's like 95.
The last one got a 96. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, oh my.
I think it's gonna be quite high. So it
Yes.
looks like I am number 2.
Mhm.
I get to pick next. The thing is, so Seto, obviously you can be sad right now because you're the last pick, but you get 2 picks back to back,
Yes, I do.
which I think
Yes.
is actually beneficial to you.
It
whenever you
does.
do
It is
it.
very much so.
That is
yes.
actually very beneficial.
wanna-
So
you
my
wanna put it on your
my
screen?
first pick was that. Sorry.
You want to put it on your screen?
Oh sure, yeah.
Yeah, just so we can see what's going on.
Here you go. Here it is. I'm picking. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Good choice. Good choice.
Hoggers.
100% that's getting a high score.
That is gonna definitely
Jesus
get a high
Christ,
score.
I
That was the
100%.
next one up.
Yeah. That was the next one up.
Oh, but now I'm thinking like, oh, dude, I don't know if that was the right pick. Actually, I was kind of hoping I was going to be third because I've got like, I feel like I've got 2 banger picks back to back.
So yeah, so I definitely am going to pick probably Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I think that's going to be a good
That is
pick.
a good one.
I think that's going to be a good pick. I'm trying to think of my next pick though, because I get back to back. So I'm trying to think of both because I really did think Resident Evil 4 would be a good pick, but Resident Evil 3 didn't do too well. 2 did great.
Resident Evil 2 did well.
Resident Evil 2 did well, but Resident Evil 3 did not do too well. That's the thing, right? That's the issue. Because if I remember
I
correctly,
mean, I
Resident
feel like you should just go with your gut.
yeah, go with my gut. Then look, there's a couple here that I think I'm definitely gonna go. Jedi Survivor. I think that's a good one.
And now you get a
then-
second pick.
Now I get a second pick, which is a pretty
Mm.
big one. Yeah. Because yeah, there's a couple like I Destiny 2 Live will be a funny one, but I don't think
Go
that'll
with
be like,
Hogwarts Legacy. I heard that's
yeah,
gonna be
dude.
it.
I heard that's gonna be good. The
Yeah,
other
that's
one,
solid, like maybe 73.
the other one,
You might
I
get some
think
points.
the other one I think I'm gonna go with, and this could be, I think I'm gonna go with Hades. I was thinking Hades.
Ooh, okay.
I was thinking Hades because that might be a little bit of a down pick, but you know what? Yeah, we're gonna go a little bit ballsy. We're gonna go Hades. We're gonna go Hades. I think Hades is gonna do well. It did do well last time. So I think it will do well this time.
I'm going to tell you right now, you made the wrong decision.
I made the
Mhm.
wrong decision.
You
I
have.
feel yes.
You know why? You know why? Hades 2 is going into early access this year, but it's not fully releasing.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
it will
Okay.
it will still get review scores, but it will be
Yes.
an unfinished game.
Yes.
And I do wonder if that will hurt it. And also, I'm not sure if everyone's going to review it.
True. That's a good point. That is a good point.
But still a good pick. Good pick. Good pick. For my next pick, I am choosing. Oh God, this is so hard. There's so many good games coming out
There's
this
so
year.
many good games.
There
Yeah.
is so many good games
Oh.
coming out this year.
Choose it. Choose the game.
My God, I am tossing up between 3 picks, and I'm not fucking telling any of you guys what my picks are because I'm playing this really close to the chest. I think I'm gonna pick Resident Evil 4 remake.
Okay.
Okay, that's a
I
ballsy
think
pick.
It's not. It's not. That game is getting a 90 plus easy. Guaranteed.
Okay.
Dude, it looks so good. Did you see the gameplay?
Yeah, Resident Evil 3 also looked really good.
No, but it didn't. Resident Evil 3 is just Resident Evil 2.5. Resident Evil 4 remake looks fucking amazing, dude. It looks so,
Those
and
are
it's
good.
next. It's gonna be a 90 plus easy.
The next one on my list, based on previous games in their series, is
Yes?
Diablo.
Yeah.
Ah, that's one of my powers.
Yeah,
dude. I was thinking
that's a
about
good
picking that
pick.
one. God
That's a good
damn it.
pick. That is
The
a
last
good
one
pick.
got an 87.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be really high. God, I hope it's broken when it comes out. My only hope at this point is it's fucking broke ass.
You get to pick again, Nathan.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
okay, it
fake.
goes
Yeah,
like
you get
that.
to go again.
Okay, the next one then would
Wait,
be
being in the middle sucks. I
Yeah,
only
being
get
in the
one
middle,
pick at a
yeah,
time.
you only
This
get
is
one
actually
pick at a time.
awful.
We're starting to get to the games now where it's like risky. You know, what I mean?
So,
there's still a couple of good ones. There's still a
the
couple.
next
of good
Next
one-
one for you, Nathan.
is Pikmin.
Man, I don't even know if that's coming out this year.
ones. It might not
It
be.
says it is.
I know. They do. I think they do. I think they haven't given a year to it, but I think the consensus is that it's probably going to come this year.
Look, man.
The
Skull and
last
Bones said
game
it's
got
coming
an
out this year.
85, so I'm going with Pikmin 4.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay, so oh man, this is so tough because like I've got one that I'm not sure if you guys are going to pick. Oh, dude, man, I don't know. I've got a lot of picks here. I got the pick of the pack.
King of the Castle. King of the
I'm gonna
Castle.
do it. I'm doing it. I'm doing Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Yeah, damn it. That was
Okay.
my choice. That was going to be
Oh
my
God,
choice.
good. I was worried that I was sort of thinking like maybe no one's gonna pick it, but yeah,
Nah, that was my choice. That was my
if that
choice.
comes this year. That's probably high 80s for sure.
Yeah.
I don't even know what
Um,
Hollow Knight got.
Hollow Knight got, I'm pretty sure, high 80s. I'm pretty sure it did really well. Um.
All right, back to you.
Yep, I do have my
Ben?
picks. I'm just looking through because I do want to see if there's anyone that you guys are thinking of. Which, I don't really think there is.
I have some very low hype games on
Yes.
my choosing list.
I am gonna go Dead Space. I'm gonna
That's
go
a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm gonna go
Yep.
Dead Space.
The
And then-
original got an 87.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then this is just for me. Where's it hiding? There it is. Dead Cells.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm going
Okay,
Dead
okay.
Cells.
He's
No,
Dead
going-
dude, the
each
last
Dead
Dead
Cells?
Cells, the last Dead Cells DLC has like a 92.
Yeah,
on
each
OpenCritic.
Dead
shit.
Cells,
It's
dude,
really
each,
high.
as I said, each DLC does really good.
That's
So
crazy.
it
That is
is
gonna
a
that is
good
gonna
pick.
score really well. I
It
think
is a good pick. But yeah, those are my picks.
my next pick. Oh baby, you know, I chat. You know, guys. There's always one developer that doesn't fucking miss. They never miss. They haven't missed since 2011.
I think I know who you're going with this. I
And I think you know who I'm fucking going with, dude. Even though I'm not a fan of this franchise, it's coming back for its sixth entry.
Yeah.
And yet, I couldn't be more fucking excited for this. Let's go fucking Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, From Software, back-to-back years.
What the fuck is that game?
Let's fucking go.
That was
From
one of
Software,
that was
bringing
one of
it back. Let's
that was
go.
one of From Software's first games. From Software doesn't miss, and that game
They
is
don't
really
miss.
hyped
That
up.
game is going to be fucking incredible.
I
Low
was
on the hype
hoping-
score right now, but just wait to use the
Yeah.
gameplay.
Once we start seeing gameplay and whatnot, it's gonna bump up quickly. I was hoping you wouldn't go for that. That was gonna be my next one.
My next game is Forza Motorsport.
Oh, that's a
Easy.
good pick.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, that's a nice chill pick.
Yep.
Because that's gonna get like at least an 80,
The last
high
one got
80s.
an 85.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Only hope is that it's broken as fuck. Damn it.
Nah, they're never broken.
They never broken.
No.
It's been so many years as well. It's
Yeah.
probably
No
gonna
pick,
pop off,
Nathan.
dude.
And along the same vein, actually, another Forza. I'm gonna pick the next Horizon DLC.
You
Yeah,
motherfucker. That was my
yeah.
secret little card.
Yeah.
Because the first DLC has like a 90. It's
Yeah.
really
DLC
high on
too.
OpenCritic.
It really
God damn it, that's a really good pick.
does.
Those are my picks. I've done my research.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Fuck, I was kind of hoping you guys were just gonna fucking freeball this and do whatever.
No.
Fuck,
I've also done research as well. Like,
really researching it, really wanting to win here. So here's the thing, right? You know, the previous entry in this series of games didn't set the world on fire. But now they have the combat designer, narrative designer from Final Fantasy 14. One of the highest rated MMOs of all time. Some would consider it to be the best MMO right now. He's working on it. And this game looks fucking fire as fuck. I'm
Let him
definitely
cook.
picking Final Fantasy 16. They're
Mhm.
cooking some fucking heat
They're doing something.
in that
Yeah.
game.
Okay. I'm back. Now, look, we're starting to get to the area of games that are getting like there's still some very good games in here, but
We're getting to the middle of the road games where you're
We
not really
are.
sure how they're going to go. And you're also
Yeah.
not sure if they're going to release.
Yeah,
yes,
that's true.
That is going to be
Pikmin is a risky one.
I
I'm not
should.
gonna lie.
I
Pikmin
should
is definitely
do,
a risky one, but it will pay off tenfold if it
Yeah,
comes
if it
out.
works.
Should I choose the unannounced first major Elden Ring DLC?
That's, I mean,
Hey, if it
Oh,
comes
dude,
out,
bro,
Dead
if it
Island
comes out,
2?
they're gonna cook, dude. They're gonna
Yeah.
cook hard.
Dude, Dead Island 2?
Yeah, pick it. Dude, you've got to pick that on. You have to.
for the meme, someone
Yeah,
has
for the
to.
meme. No, okay, look. What I'm thinking, look. Street Fighter always does well. They do. There's only been a couple ones, but Street Fighter has always done well. I feel like I'm going to go Street Fighter.
Fair
I
enough.
feel
Fair
yeah,
enough.
they do well.
Street Fighter 6, it's looking pretty good.
It does look pretty
I
good.
will say, let's look at. I don't actually know what was the score for Street Fighter 5.
Didn't make it on my list, so
Yeah.
79.
Yeah.
79. It's just a little bit under. It's just a
But
little
you know
bit
what?
under.
But I think, that's still 9 points. And also, I still think Street Fighter 6 is going to bang. I think it's
I-
going to be really good. I think
I
they're,
still think,
it's
yeah.
back to form, true to form, back to
Mhm.
their roots.
Now, I do have some risky picks that could.
Dude, do it. You're gonna have to get to the. There's 20 games here, dude. You're gonna have to be a little
20?
risky.
Yeah.
My
There's,
list is not big enough.
10 right now. 10 right now.
Oh,
there
okay.
is-
That's
And then 10 later, like if they get
Like,
announced. Or,
My list is big
there,
enough.
there is some risky picks that I really want to do, but I don't know if I want to do it this early.
I just pick Forspoken, dude. I think that's gonna really. I think half the game journos aren't even gonna be able to run it on PC.
Yeah, exactly. Look. The one that I did want to do was either I think. Look, I might do Horizon Forbidden West.
Fair enough.
DLC. That's a good one. No,
I
that'll
might do it.
totally
Safe
pop
bet.
off.
Yeah, it's a safe bet, and then I'm gonna do some risky bets next run. I have some risky
Dude,
ones.
I've got kind of a risky one that I really
I
hope.
have two risky
risk.
ones. I have two risky ones that I
I
want to
should
do.
actually get rid of some of the ones that I can't pick anymore. I can't believe you got Diablo. Dude, I think Diablo 4 is going to be at like a 90 plus if it releases
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Let me look at my list. So I've still got the risky pick that I'm not sure if you guys are going to pick. I'm sure as hell not picking Starfield. I think Starfield is the riskiest pick on this list.
Starfield is definitely the riskiest, 100%.
You know, I honestly think. Let me just look up this game real quick. Let me see how their
On
previous.
the fly, force and CD cheating.
Let me see how their previous game did. Let's see how. Ooh, I mean.
Oh no, I know which one you're looking at.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Boys, I'm choosing Destiny 2 Lightfall.
Oh, okay. That's not what I thought you were going to choose.
No, that's what I was going to go with. That was my
Dude, Destiny is
85.
80. No, so we're not. No, so it's OpenCritic, not Metacritic.
Yeah,
oh, it's OpenCritic. Okay.
And OpenCritic typically, depending on the game, typically scales higher than Metacritic.
Yes.
But sometimes lower because there are more critics overall in the review pool.
Yeah.
So make that known. I chose Destiny 2 Lightfall because Witch Queen has an 88.
Yes.
On OpenCritic,
Yeah,
which is
that's
pretty fucking high.
Well.
This is my first risky pick. So, there's a little game called Company of Heroes.
Yep.
There are 3 listings for the third game in OpenCritic. They got 79, an 81, and an 87. So even if it's somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, 80s is, I mean, if any of these games are hitting 80, 85, like that's pretty good. That's 15 points right there.
So,
yes,
I'm picking it. Company of Heroes 3.
Yep.
There it is.
Good pick.
Good pick.
That was actually one of my picks.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah, that was one of my picks. I've done research. And
I think you researched harder than I did.
And the next one down, Octopath.
Yep. Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good pick, actually. That's a really
good pick.
The last one got an 84.
Yeah.
No, it does well. I think this one will do well too. The only thing that I think could detract is if it's too similar. But I don't know if it will be. And it's also on more platforms. We'll see what happens, Oh. This is a risky fucking pick. Okay. I'm choosing a game that currently the only release date it has is next winter. That is all it has.
I think I know what game this is.
It's not very confident.
It's not confident at all. Could very well be pushed to a March 2024 kind of area. But if it does hit, it'll hit like its predecessor, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm choosing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
That's a good pick.
Damn, I chose all the fucking weeb games. Like, I got 4 Japanese company games, dude. Let's go.
Okay. So, there's some tough ones here. There's some toughies. I'm pretty sure I know how this game went. Let me just make sure. Let me really. Yeah. Look, that could be a safe bet.
Go for it.
So man, there's still 3 picks. Jesus.
There's still a lot of picks. Okay, I'm gonna go one ballsy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go one safe.
Go for it, dude.
So this is ironically my safe pick. But the predecessor, it hit the margin. I'm fine with it. I'm gonna go Sons of the Forest. The predecessor.
Okay. Yeah, that was on my list.
How did that go?
Predecessor, 81.
Ooh,
neutral.
Okay.
And people really liked it. So I think it'll be good. the ballsy pick, the one that either is gonna slap or it's gonna suck, and I'm gonna go for it.
What is
I'm
it?
gonna go Suicide Squad.
Oh,
I'm gonna balls it. I'm
Holy
gonna
shit.
balls it.
Bro, that might be more ballsy
It's a
than
ballsy pick.
that might be more ballsy than Starfield. No
It's a
joke.
ballsy
Yeah,
pick.
I think it is.
It's a ballsy pick.
That
It's a
is
ballsy
wild.
pick. It's a
That's
real
fucking
ballsy pick.
Bro,
ridiculous.
it is ill. It's
Dude.
borderline mental
Dude,
illness.
I am hoping. I am hoping. I'm gonna cope hard, and if it blows up, I'm gonna rub it in all your faces.
I
It won't.
I'm picking a sequel to a franchise that has been dormant
Yeah, this
for
is my last pick.
13 years.
This is my last pick.
He made a return in a little game called Control not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
I'm choosing
Alan
Alan
Wake.
Wake 2.
That was gonna be my other pick. That was my last one.
Hope it releases this year.
Alan Wake
Jesus.
1 didn't review that well though.
No, but
it
Control
did an 80. It did an 80.
Yeah.
Control did, and I think it actually how did Control go? I didn't even look. I'm just
Pretty good,
just
I think.
He got an 84.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Alan Wake didn't do very well, but I think they've grown since then. It got a 77. So yeah, not that great, but I think honestly, I think Alan Wake 2 is going to be a huge step up.
All right. I'm going for a safe bet. Assassin's Creed.
Yep.
Mirage.
That actually that's not a bad bet
Yep, it's nice
because
and safe.
they're back to basics.
Yeah, that's true too. Yep.
What was I feel like it's going to be closest to like Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah, which I think a lot of
That
people
era.
miss.
Exactly. I think it's going to score well. I think that's a good
And
pick.
I've got a lot of safe bets that will probably get like an 81, 82 kind of area, but
Yeah.
I want to take a frisky maneuver right here.
No, you're not doing it.
And it's something that I like a lot. But I have trust and I have belief. And the last one didn't review that bad. It actually reviewed quite well, but I think it's going to do better. And it's Kerbal Space Program 2.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were about to do Dead Odds.
Yeah, I was wondering when you were going to pick Kerbal Space Program 2. I thought, I'm not going to take it from you.
Yeah.
Last one got an 80.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen so far, because I'm keeping pretty up to date with it, it looks pretty damn good. It's like the first one, but better.
How many picks do I have? How many have I got left? I've got currently 8 games. I've got 2 more to go.
Yeah, my last two coming up.
I'm gonna get like a little bit risky. And this
Yep.
the game that this is a DLC. This is a game that released in 2020 and was panned because of high expectations, broken launch, all of the above. But you know what? This DLC is only going to be next gen. No Xbox One, no PS4. I'm going with Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That is.
I think it's going to be really
that's
good.
a pretty strong pick.
I think that's an 80 plus easy.
That's a pretty strong pick.
If it's not buggy.
Yes, true. Okay, my last 2 picks. Last 2 picks.
Here you go.
Now I have a couple. I do like. I don't know if I want to joke around and actually take it seriously because I want to put Dead Island 2. But
also, like if you bid like $1, well, no one else is bidding on that. No one else is bidding on Dead Island 2.
Here's the
you can pick that up for $1.
There is a couple, right? Because like I know, for example, Risk of Rain 2 returns. That's probably gonna hit. That's probably gonna do well. It's not much hype, but Risk of Rain 1 did well. Risk of Rain 2 did well.
Well, Risk of Rain Returns is a remake of the first one.
It is, right?
Yeah.
It is. So I'm pretty positive. But
is that actually is that classified as a remake or a remaster?
I don't know.
Because if it's a remaster, it won't let you. But if it's a remake, if it's allowed,
it's saying it's allowed here.
Yeah.
We have Payday 3, but I know Payday, I'm pretty sure did do too well.
Payday 3 is a bit of a risky.
Yeah, Payday 2 did not do well.
Yeah, Payday 2 did not do well at all. Let me look up something quickly. Actually, let me look up something.
A little bit of searching. I appreciate that.
I'm just going.
Dude, honestly, so far our lists are pretty fucking concrete. Like, I think this is gonna be it's gonna be a tough one to see who wins.
I have one. I had one real risky bet, but we'll have to wait and see.
And I don't know if any of these games are gonna go in the negatives.
I don't think so.
I don't see any of these going below a 70 unless they're completely fucking broken. I mean, I'm looking at Suicide Squad, and that could very well. Yeah,
no,
that could very well be.
No, Suicide Squad 2 could, but I wanted to have one risky bet. I
I'd say
really
it's
did.
50-50, and
I
even if it
wanted-
does get above
Let's
a
be
70,
honest, that's downright deranged.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's
deranged.
I wanted to have one risky bet, and I was stuck between Starfield or Suicide Squad. And I don't know why, but I was like, damn, I'm a fan of superheroes. I'm gonna go Suicide Squad. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna try it, but it could very well screw me over. I'm fine with it if it does.
I honestly feel like my risky bets are games that they might just not release this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I am going to go Risk and Rain 2, Risk and Rain Returns. Risk and Rain 2 and 1 did do well. It is a good bet. I think it is going to do well.
Yeah, no, I think that's a respectable choice.
And I'm going to go Dead Island. No.
No, actually. I really want Seto at the end of this list. I want to see Dead Island 2. Actually, it can't be.
This is my last one. This is my last two.
No,
No,
at the end of
you
the
get 10
beginning.
more. You get 10
do
more.
you?
You get the
Not today.
So there's no, not today. But you can. I mean, you can.
I really
straight
do.
straight after this, you can start bidding on games if you want.
I
to,
do want to do the Elden Ring DLC, but like we haven't seen anything on it yet. But I do want to do it. But
They
I'm
did
going...
say, like, I mean, in his acceptance speech, you know,
yeah,
he
true,
said
true.
like we want to work on more of this game. So
that is true. I could balls it. I could.
if I were you, I'd balls it.
I feel like you're saying that.
No, I actually would pick that. I'm not going to
see-
pick it in my draft picks, but I would bet on it.
I'd like to nominate Bill Clinton.
Oh no, no.
Yeah, Bill Clinton has to be
Yeah, you know
in
what?
the DLC.
Because if it hits, it hits. So yeah, it's gonna hit if it actually does come out, and it's not gonna be bad if it
I think
doesn't.
there's a chance. I think there's a really
Yeah.
good chance that it comes out this year.
I'm ballsy.
He's
I'm
done it.
ballsy. I'm ballsy.
He's only gone and done it.
Damn, he's
Yeah.
done it.
I'm ballsy. I see. I'm unlike you guys. You guys would be absolute pussies. I'm doing the ballsy picks. I put Suicide Squad. I'm
Wait, so
going.
is this my 9th pick?
This
This is your last one, I think, isn't
This
it?
is your last pick. I'm pretty sure.
2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Oh my god, it's my last. Shit. What do I want to go for? I've got a
Yours-
few, but I think I can bid on a couple of these, and you guys won't see them coming. I'm gonna choose. You know what? You know, I've been shitting on Starfield a lot,
Oh,
Ooh.
biggest
Okay.
risk. It could,
which is
but
why
it
I'm
could blow up.
definitely choosing. I'm not choosing Starfield. I'm actually gonna choose Redfall because, and I know it hasn't looked amazing, but these developers know what they're doing. They did
They do
Dishonored.
do well.
They did
do well.
Prey.
Mm-hmm.
They did what's the one that came out in 2021? I can't remember it. It's the one where
Deathloop.
you're Deathloop. Oh my god, Deathloop's so good. I'm picking this. I think it's gonna be really good.
All
That
right.
is a good pick. That is a good pick. Wait, what are your last
pick,
ones?
very last pick.
I got one last, yeah. I have a really vanilla safe bet, but I'm going to save it for the drafting, for the bidding,
For the
sorry,
bidding,
because
yep.
it's so vanilla that it's
Mhm.
like, why the fuck would you pick it? I'm going to take this as a risky one because it doesn't have a predecessor, and that's a risk for me. Every game that I've picked so far has had a
has been
predecessor.
sequels, yeah.
Called Lies of P.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good
Pretty-
pick.
Pretty damn good.
Mhm.
Oh,
It
I'm
looks
shocked you're
pretty damn
picking that
good.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's very Bloodborne-esque.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Soulsborne-like. It does look very good. I'm glad
And
that
it's
got
done.
picked.
I
Yeah,
think that's it.
there it is.
Games are
Hey,
finished.
now we can counter pick.
We do need to do the counter picks. So let me explain the counter picks.
Okay.
So obviously you do the drafting. You're picking games that you think are gonna get above 70. Counter picking is now you look at other people's lists and you want to pick games that you think are either not gonna release or are gonna release negative. Because if they release negatively, you get positive points for it
Right.
being below 70. But obviously, you know, if it slaps and it's above 70, you lose points for the counter pick. Also, if a game either gets delayed and someone takes it out of their draft, you still keep that counter pick. So it still
Gotcha.
stays. But I would recommend looking for, because I mean, obviously a lot of these games are probably going to slap.
I'm pretty strong.
Look for games that you think are not going to release this year.
So,
Well, I
Seto,
think-
you go first, I think, yeah?
Yeah, I do go first. There's one on my list. I know. Oh, you guys are gonna pick pretty quickly. Look, like there's a lot of good games on here.
Is there a downside to counterpicking if it if it goes well?
Yeah, you lose points. So like if
Yeah.
it gets to 75, you lose 5 points.
Can we just not counterpick?
No, you have to counter pick.
Oh, how many? Just one?
Two counter
Okay,
picks.
okay.
Two counter picks. Okay, I think that
But if you lose 10 points, that's not the biggest deal. If you lose like 20, like that might
We're
ruin,
just too good at choosing.
I know.
Mm.
There's so many good games lined up for this year that it's very difficult. So you basically, I think you need to just bet on games not releasing, to be honest.
Yeah.
All games getting like a 72 or
That's
a
what I'm gonna
73.
do. I'm gonna bet on a game that I hope doesn't release.
You hope they don't have the crunch to release it. Yep.
And I'm gonna bet on a game that I hope doesn't do well.
It's probably one of mine. It's got to be one of mine, right? I feel like
It
half
is
my
one of
list
yours.
could not release this year.
Yeah, it is. So I think that the one that I'm gonna go that I hope might not do well. I'm stuck between two because one has a good track record. One has no. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. I think I'm gonna go Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk
Ooh.
game did not
That
do
is
well. It's a risky bet. Game
that is
did not
super
do well.
risky.
But the thing is that like they've updated the game, but the game is still not in the best state, right? The only reason the game is pretty hyped is because of the fact that the anime came out, right? So it's a risky bet, and I'm hoping it pays off. It might, but I have Suicide Squad on my list, so I'm already like.
Now I will say, even with the dog shit last gen console ports, it still has a 76.
It does? Oh, I thought it worse.
It's
Shit!
still in the positive, even with
Oh,
how
shit.
bad those ports were. And this
There
game,
are-
remember, this DLC is not on last gen console.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, that's a great point.
But I
Like
mean,
so many games did well here. Like
these
so, dude, there's so many good games. Like
games.
that's the issue.
I've already got
Like,
two in mind.
huh?
I've already got two in mind.
You got two in mind?
Yeah.
Look, I think.
Can we counterpick the same as someone?
Yeah.
I don't actually know if you can do two. I don't think you can actually.
Hmm.
I think you have to do. They all have to be like you have.
Which
to,
one doesn't have the date on it? Is it Final Fantasy 8 or Final Fantasy Rebirth? Which one is the one that doesn't have?
Rebirth has the next winter. 16 is set for June 2nd.
Okay, I might do Rebirth. I'm gonna do
Rebirth. I would say is probably the safer bet.
Yeah,
I think that's very likely that it won't come out this year.
And then the other game, just because as Nathan did state,
it does the snake thing again.
Huh?
It does the snake thing again. So
oh no, I'm going again. Yeah. So as
you clicked it so quickly that it didn't.
Oh, did I?
Register.
Yeah, I gotta go.
It wouldn't actually work. Yeah.
So I am betting on a game. Yeah, I'm honestly gonna pick. See, now that I've actually got to do it, I'm not really sure what to go with.
I think there's one very obvious choice.
No, Suicide Squad seems obvious, but I don't think it's going to be super negative. And if dude, it could really be good.
I'm
crunching on
Suicide Squad game, like at least like a 75. I'm hoping for that.
Yeah, and honestly, if -5 isn't too bad, but I don't think it's going to be bad. I don't think it'll be as bad as Gotham Knights. What if it is? What if it's
that's
like,
the thing? That's
what if it's a 50? Like that's
dude,
a 20.
Yeah, I'm crunching on it doing well. I'm hoping, but it could very well do bad.
This is such a risky pick that I'm actually going to pick Kerbal Space Program 2.
Ooh, yep, that's a good one.
And my reasoning is, I know the first one did well. It's got like what, an 81?
80 at launch, yeah, which is crazy because it launched at not a great state.
But the problem is that this is a new development team.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the release date for it actually?
Next month.
Oh,
pretty sure.
Well, too late.
No, I didn't do it. I didn't confirm.
February.
There's one real safe bet on my list, but it could really screw you over.
It's this one right here.
It's that one, yeah.
Yeah, I could do that one.
That's a safe bet, but
it's not.
No,
it's a safe bet. It's a safe bet if it was guaranteed it wasn't releasing this year.
Yeah,
but that thing hits a 95.
Yeah, then you're screwed, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
You can lose the game just off of
Elden Ring, right? Yeah.
No, just off of a bad counter pick.
Yeah, you really could.
I'm gonna choose Kerbal Space Program 2.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think that's a pretty decent pick. It's a pretty good pick.
I don't think it's gonna do even if I get a -10, that's not too bad.
I am picking Suicide Squad because I'm guaranteeing it'll be a 70-something.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yep. No, that's fine.
And wait, what did what did Arkham? How did Arkham Knight go?
I'll get again.
Arkham Knight, I think, gets 70-something.
Arkham Knight is an 86.
86. Oh, I am. See, the reason why I went Suicide Squad is because they've had some really good games, but some really shit games.
No,
And
they
I'm
haven't.
hoping. Suicide Squad.
Rocksteady has not had bad games.
Oh, Rocksteady. Oh yeah. No,
the
no.
developer, like, I mean, Suicide Squad. I mean, there hasn't been a Suicide Squad game, right? There's
No,
been a
there
bad
hasn't.
movie, and there's been a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
I honestly think Rocksteady, if there's any developer that can crack the superhero live service game, it's them.
Yes.
Just because I think that if they're doing it for a reason, and I think they believe in it.
I'm
So-
choosing Lightfall.
That's an interesting choice, bro.
Boy, that is a
Yo.
choice.
Of all of
that-
the choices that I have, there aren't that many good ones anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
a choice.
That's scary.
That could that's, and you're gonna find out soon if that's a choice. Like that's next month.
That's scary.
But like, they're the people that I would say I trust the least in this list.
Sure.
I could see that.
Done.
This is definitely one of the thing is that what makes Lightfall scary. Lightfall is probably one of the more hypes DLCs they're bringing out.
Oh yeah,
Like
they could totally fuck it.
Lightfall-
Like
They
they
could
fucked a
fuck it.
lot.
They could fuck it up.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Beyond Light was really hyped, but that did shit, right? But Witch Queen was also really hyped, but that did really well. So like, it's a real in between.
I'm going to choose. I'm just doing a quick search.
I don't think Lightfall will get in like a 90 something. So
No,
No, it's
but
probably
it probably
gonna
will
get 80s.
get like 80s.
It's probably gonna get 80s. Right
Okay.
now, it's like minimizing.
I am choosing Risk of Rain Returns
Interesting choice.
because Risk
Interesting
of Rain
choice.
has a 77. The
Yes.
first one.
yeah,
Yes. No, that is true. That is true.
And this is just a remake in 2D. It's the same game.
that is a good.
So
that is an interesting
I
choice.
think a -7 isn't too bad. I don't think actually maybe that might have been a bad pick. We'll see.
It's an interesting choice. I'll say that.
see what
It's an
happens. We'll see
interesting
what
Shadow
choice.
is hovering over a danger zone.
No. I'm just
What's he
hovering. I'm
hovering
just
over?
hovering. I'm not gonna do that one.
What was he
I'm not
hovering
doing-
over?
Liza
Life
P.
of P.
I'm
Liza
not
P.
doing. I'm not doing Liza P. I'm not doing that one. That's it.
I mean, here's the thing, right?
It's unknown.
Okay, here's the thing. So many like Souls-like games that people release look great in trailers,
That's
but
true.
then when you play it, you're like, this isn't as good.
Mhm.
And so that docks them points. Like I don't
It
think
really
there are
does.
many. I don't think there are very many high Souls-like games that aren't made by From Software.
Yes.
Like if I think of like, let me look Souls-like games.
Look, no, there's a bunch. There is a bunch. You got like Death's
Like I think the
Door,
only the
Hollow
ones that are
Knight.
really Death's Door isn't a Souls-like.
It's, yeah, it is.
No, Death's Door. No, it's not. Like Neo, I'd say is probably the most successful Souls-like.
Yeah, true.
That's
true.
not made by.
I have three in my mind.
Like
I think
the
it's the
most
last
recent
pick.
one that was a Souls-like that was Mortal Shell, and that got a 76.
Yeah. There's
So-
three. There's three in my mind. There's
Mhm.
three in my mind, all for different reasons.
Mhm.
One is Alan Wake, but that's a risky pick because Control did do well, but the original Alan Wake did not do well,
Yes.
right? So Alan
Not
Wake is a
above a
risky
70.
pick. Yeah, it did.
But at this point, you might be betting on the fact that Alan Wake 2 might not come out this year.
Yeah, that is also true, right? So it's that one. The next one is Liza P, and the
Mhm.
last one is Cyberpunk, right? But Cyberpunk is like the really risky one. but
Cyberpunk, I think Cyberpunk's releasing because I think it's set for June.
It is. I do.
I think
definitely
it's. I think actually no.
I
Did they? I actually don't think they have a
I think Cyberpunk is definitely releasing.
7.
I am
Yeah.
Are you
mainly
betting on
leaning-
them making the same mistakes they made
Yeah.
previously?
No, I'm just like
Just
I
has a
just-
2023 date. Cyberpunk.
it does or doesn't.
It does. Just 2023.
Yeah.
No, there's no other. There's
To
no
be
month
honest,
or anything.
I'm mainly
attached.
leaning towards Alan Wake just because, like, yes, Control did do well, but the original Alan Wake didn't. What did Control get? What did Control get?
86
86
or 84. 84 or 86.
Oh, okay, so it did
High.
really well.
Pretty sure
Liza-
the DLC did really well as well, though.
Control DLC.
Yeah, like really
Liza
well.
P does have no developers. This is the
No
first game.
developers.
No
Well, you know what I mean?
developers.
Sorry, no previous games. No previous games.
Well, so the Control DLC that features Alan Wake got a 77.
Yeah, but that's featuring. That's different.
Yeah,
That's different.
Yeah, he just chills.
Um,
That wasn't a very good DLC.
I didn't play it all the way through because I lost my save. It ate my save.
That's right.
Cyberpunk. Oh, this is such a difficult.
Who are the
pick.
developers of Liza P? I've never heard of them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They are Neo Wiz Games. What have they made?
Oh, Neo is. Yeah, they're gonna pop.
Are you being sarcastic?
Popping.
They did make Skull the Hero Slayer, which was actually pretty well received.
That was pretty well received.
But they have not. See, here's the thing: is they haven't done 3D games. They're all 2D. And I think when developers do that,
here's the thing though.
About to suffer from No Man's Sky syndrome.
Yeah, no, dude. Risk of Raid. Here's the thing. Risk of Raid 2D, right? All 2D. They brought up Risk of Raid 2, hugely popular, and that's a 3D game.
Yeah,
Like,
but I don't think Risk of Rain 2 actually reviewed that. I got an 86. Okay,
it reviewed really well.
It did review very well.
I need to go for the one that has the least amount of damage, which I think I might go Liza P. I'm not going to.
I think that's a decent bet because I think there is a very good chance. There's a chance that it could get an 85, but there's a chance it could get a 72.
That's what I'm thinking.
Or a 70.
Right? And I think that might.
I think there's almost an equal measure of chance that they're one or the other.
The thing about Cyberpunk is I think that Cyberpunk is actually more of a dangerous pick just because they are updating it. They have been doing well, and I think that is more of a dangerous pick. Alan Wake 2, as we said, its control has done well, and they have learned a lot of playing it. And
I feel like my list is almost entirely based on the fact that I really hope a lot of these games release.
Yeah,
not many of them have dates.
Yeah, I'm going Liza P. That's just
there you go.
Life of Pi.
Yep.
So, to recap, I'll go through the lists and to see what everyone's got. So Nathan has. Oh, actually, I'll put it on.
Oh, you want?
Oh, actually, no, it's all right. I can just say it.
Yeah.
I have to throw it on the screen. So Nathan has Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, motherfucker, Diablo 4, Pikmin 4, Forza Motorsport, Forza Horizon 5 DLC number 2, Company of Heroes 3, Octopath Traveler 2, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Kerbal Space Program 2, and Lies of P. I have Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Hollow Knight Silksong, Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, Final Fantasy 16, Destiny 2 Lightfall, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Alan Wake 2, Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, and Redfall. Seto has Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Hades 2, Dead Space Remake, Dead Cells Return to Castlevania, Street Fighter 6, Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores, Sons of the Forest, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, Reign of Risk, Risk of Rain Returns, and the unannounced first major Elden Ring DLC. And our counter picks are Nathan has Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, Destiny 2 Lightfall, I have Kerbal Space Program 2 and Risk of Rain Returns, and Seto has Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth and Lies of P.
Yeah.
And that is the draft. So the second part of this, right, is the bidding process. So every week we have the opportunity to bid on games. It's all secret bidding, so you can bid $1, you can bid $50. You have a total 100. You have 100 budget, right? $100 budget. So throughout the year, for the next 10, the next 10 games you pick, you bid on them, and you might not even get a full list of 20 games. You don't have to do all 20. And then at the end of the week, it will notify you and say, here's the games that have gone to each team, and the game continues. And then we wait and see where these games review and who wins.
Chill.
It's going to be interesting.
It is going to be interesting.
First game to be released is the Dead Space remake in 8 days.
Yeah, yes, on our draft. Obviously, no one picked Forspoken, which I'm really shocked by. Who knows? It comes out
dude.
Soon. That's coming out in 5 5 Who knows?
Yeah, bro, that's gonna do well.
Surely.
Yeah, Dead Space remake, first one on the list.
Well,
actually, Seto has the first 2 lists.
I do have the first 2. But the thing is, bids do start in 2 days, so someone could bid for Forspoken.
No, so the bid process is in 2 days, so end of the week. So you can
bidding now. Okay, I'm gonna bid for it right now. Okay.
Yeah, show your screen while you do it. Yeah, there's a couple that I think I might bid on.
Yeah, there's a couple that I definitely.
There's a few indie games I think that I didn't. Oh man, I've got some games on my list that I've just got in my pocket, just waiting there. But of course,
I got some.
There is E3 at some point mid-year. So I'm sure there'll be a bunch of cool games.
Can we bid on the games that we already have? Can you bid on the games that someone else has?
Wait, why would you do that? No, you can't do that.
No, you can't do that. Okay, so you can't bid. So okay.
It's only games, obviously, and games that are unreleased or not on other people's lists.
Because I was about to say, you could bid and try to take someone else's shit.
Yeah, no.
No, you can't do that. Okay.
Can't do that. Not possible. But
Very good,
overall, this year is gonna fucking pop, dude. If even half the games released this year, it's gonna be a good year for games.
Yes, 100%.
Definitely a lot better than last year, I think.
There's a lot of good games coming out. There's a lot of good games coming out.
I mean, so many that we were able to fill 3 lists of 10 games that are all, you know,
It's
pretty high
strong.
quality games. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Except for the
100%.
6 counter picks.
Except for the
Except for those counter picks. Yeah, do we want to wrap up?
Yeah.
How will we?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, there's always one more thing, right?
Mhm.
You've always got to do the one more thing. So, Seto, did you bring a one more thing? You got a one more thing?
I got one more thing. Yes, I do actually have a one more thing. I do have a one more thing.
And actually, while you do your one more thing, I need to go get my one more thing.
Okay. My one more thing is very small. It's actually it's a movie I watched. Actually, I actually watched Puss in Boots 2 recently. Movie
Ooh.
actually good, actually really good. I would recommend because it's actually a very very good movie. I was expecting when I went into it, I'm like, damn, just a cash grab, not that good, but it slaps. It's a really good movie. I would recommend. I would highly recommend. I was saying, Jamie, that I saw Puss in Boots 2. Good movie. Good
Oh, dude, I
recommend.
got to see that. Yeah,
Really
it's
good movie.
I saw a bunch of memes of people shitting on Avatar because like, it's scored
It's a
higher on
hazard.
Tomatoes
Yes.
over
Yes.
Puss in Boots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
Alright.
it's great. I definitely have to see it.
I would
sure.
recommend. Very good movie. The villain is beautiful.
Yeah, it's like the
Absolutely
big bad
lovely.
wolf, isn't it?
Yeah. So basically, there. Well, I actually won't say it because unless you have seen all the videos that come out, but I won't say what he actually is. But yeah, he's based off the big bad wolf.
Yeah, cool, awesome, dope movie.
So
did we explain what this is? What the one more thing is?
we have not explained what the one more thing is. I think
Okay,
we're just gonna go with it. Yeah,
that's right. The one more thing is sort of a time where we can just mention stuff that we've been doing over the week that doesn't relate to video games necessarily. It can relate, but it doesn't have to. Like movies, TV shows, books. Yeah, it's just to shout out cool shit. Nathan, what's your one more thing?
You go next.
Okay, my one more thing is physical.
Oh,
and it's a book, right? So
Yeah.
here's the thing. So I was watching a YouTuber, and he was going over like his favorite gaming things over the year, not just games, but like obviously there was a cyberpunk anime, there was arcane stuff that's video game related that is cool that he enjoyed,
Mhm.
and he mentioned like physical gaming stuff, like you know how you used to have like the old gaming magazines.
Mhm.
This is basically like an old gaming magazine, but like production value taken up to like 11, where you've got like these really cool it's really hard to you got these really
Keep
cool
up.
like pieces of art. There's a near replicant piece.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
And it's just people talking about games, and it was actually the inspiration where I was like, I'm reading this and I'm like, damn, I want to like talk about games like this. And that was the initial inspiration to do the podcast.
Mhm.
And it's really cool, and I got them from there's like 4 issues out right now. There's a really cool one that's like Resident Evil Village. But yeah, it's really cool art, and it's just people talking about games they really love, and it's really dope. And yeah, highly recommend if you're interested in you know hearing about games in a different way. Definitely check out Lock On.
Mhm.
It's backwards, but it says Lock On.
Yep.
And this is issue 2, and it's like
Very
really
good.
it's hardcover. It's really cool, dope.
Yeah. Very
love
good.
it.
Very good. Okay. How much is it?
So the hardcover is $100.
Oh,
They've got to import it.
Alright.
Yeah.
Very expensive, but super premium. You get some cool postcards and a poster with it. Super dope. And they're really cool. But there's a soft cover version for 50. So
Oh, okay.
but I
Wow,
got
half
it
the price. There you
from
go.
because they've got to import it from like the UK.
Oh, yeah.
But I got it from an Australian store that sells a whole bunch of gaming stuff called Pixel Crib. And they obviously
Ooh.
didn't sponsor
Yeah.
the podcast, but pixelcrib.com.au has a bunch of really cool shit.
Very good.
Like
very
if
good.
you've got a vinyl player, they got a bunch of cool like
A vinyl player.
they've got cool like video game like limited edition vinyls and figurines and all kinds of stuff. I saw they've got like a history of handheld gaming, like a massive like $70
really cool.
like history of all the handhelds that have come out.
Mhm.
Really cool stuff. Super nerdy but dope.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay. And Nathan, last but not least,
Do you know what I brought to show and tell?
what
What's
did
that?
you bring?
I brought this instance of OBS. That is what I've been doing this week.
Hey, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, that is related. You know, that
this-
is something.
This
Mhm.
is very well done. It is.
Yeah,
very
honestly,
well
is-
done.
we need to give Nathan a round of applause for
round of
fucking
applause.
nailing the production of this.
Yeah, the
of this
production
podcast.
quality is
Beautiful.
Bar the frame rate, but that's not my problem. That's the fucking service we're using.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, but that's okay.
And
That's
also
okay.
my
We can get it
webcam being
fixed up.
30 FPS, but that's
Yeah,
again, that's
again,
an issue
we
with
can
me
fix
having an
that.
old ass webcam. Maybe next week I'll have a newer one.
Yeah,
You
episode
know, maybe
2,
it's time to
we will
upgrade.
fix these issues.
I need to fix my microphone, so yeah.
You need to fix your microphone. Did we fix
Yeah.
that audio by at some point? Did it fix? Do you know? If it
I
fixed?
did like in the background
as-
try to fix the
Not
game.
as bad as
but-
it was, but
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I did in the background try to fix the game, but I know
Let's
it's still a little bit
see how
out
it
there.
goes in post.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but yeah.
I think that was a success.
Yes, no, that was good.
Thank you guys for watching all the way through. What was this?
Mhm.
Like an hour and
Hour and a bit, hour
about to hit
and
2.
2 hours.
nearly 2 hours.
Nearly
Nice.
2 hours.
I did say we were gonna do max hour and a half, but hey, it
Yeah, but
happens
hey, you know
sometimes.
what?
2
Yeah.
hours,
Special.
2 hours is fine.
We had
Exactly.
a lot to cover.
It
We
was a
did
lot
have
to
a lot
cover,
to-
yes.
yes.
And obviously next week, we'll get better at this. We'll get better at the
Mhm.
cadence, the flow, and obviously give us your feedback on it, of course.
100%.
Absolutely, 100%. We'll take all of that on board. We might tell you to fuck off, but some of it we'll say, yeah, cool, that's a good idea.
Mhm.
But yeah, thank you for tuning in, watching all 2 hours of this. Really appreciate it.
Mhm.
As always, we'll be back again next week. I'm not sure when we're posting this. Are we posting this tomorrow, or do you think it'll
Probably
take
tomorrow.
a while? Okay.
Yep. So Friday.
So
on
it'll
Friday.
post on Friday. Preferably. Sometimes there might be delays and stuff, but hopefully, we're learning as we go, and this is gonna be really fun. Looking forward to doing more of this. So yeah,
100%.
thank you guys for hanging out, and
Yep.
thank you for chilling with me.
No,
and
yeah,
and
very
Nathan,
good. Mm-hmm.
I got nothing else. I got nothing.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
I was gonna do like, you can follow us on Twitter and Twitch and all this shit. Don't worry about it. All our socials will be down below if you care
Yes.
about that.
Yeah. We'll get the socials up. We'll get that.
Yeah, the socials.
Yes. Very
See you
good.
guys.
All right. See you
Thanks,
guys.
kids. Bye. Slowly fading. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.